First bounce in the qualifying final at Football Park for 1985. Norwood going to the northern or lake end of Football Park. And an initial scrimmage.
Surprising that Peter Carey's in the pocket and Wayne Henwood is the ruckman.
Henwood to contest with Hine. The latter wins. Now Taylor trying to work it clear. Hine can by hand to Ace. Ace at half forward. Pops it over short. Oh, so close for Payne. Still Norwood with a chance. Michael Annie way offline.
Well, we saw yesterday in the elimination final a comedy of errors, and Norwood inexplicably starting with nerves. Michael Annie behind a big punch from Seabohm. So still in the forward pocket for Norwood. No score, and we've played a minute.
A lot of players converged in that pocket. High hand pass to no one in particular. Oh, Maynard. Finally, the kick comes out towards half-back for Glenelg. Jenkins was first there, but there'll be a throw-in.
And Maynard and McIntosh all but colliding. Left half forward for Norwood. The height of Michael Annie. Marshall in the way. Michael Aish at left half forward. No one's at home for Norwood, but Russell gives for the Tigers. Over the Hall. Hall straightening, coming back to the grandstand side. Henwood. Henwood half-back.
Big Wayne Henwood. To centre wing. Kernahan's in the middle of the pack. Michael Aish. Oh, didn't have it. They're in the free kick.
Undisciplined play then by Alan Stringer. Absolutely unnecessary.
Short to Taylor. Out wide to Jenkins. Looking for someone at half forward. Gibbs again. Good mark.
Well, the style of the man, calm, collected, loose in defence almost, and reading the play perfectly. Electing to take the punt back towards centre. Behind was Warhurst. Kept the tackle by Stephen Kernahan. Hellier, good tackle by Murphy, gives Stephen Kernahan a chance. Over to Carey, electing to go long. Looking for Garton. But McGuinness with a pace. Good walk around Ross. Trying to also do the same on Balme. Good mark, Carey. Well, what superb play, Peter Carey. He was the player who took the ball into the forward line. McGuinness centred the ball, and Carey had run 50 metres to the square to stand tall and take the mark. It'll be the opening score. We've played 3 minutes, and it should be a major to the Tigers.
Glenelg in front. The first goal on the board. It took 3.5 minutes. Glenelg for 6 points. Norwood yet to score.
And as Rick just said a moment ago, what a bonus for Glenelg to see Peter Carey get off that striking charge from last Saturday's game against Sturt. And mark that goal down to Tony McGuinness, fellas. He worked real hard over the far side of the ground, just under the scoreboard. He trapped the ball, kept it in play, and spun it back beautifully on the edge of the square for Peter Carey to stand his ground and take a clever mark and finish it off with the top goal. Glenelg 1 goal, played Norwood yet to score.
4 minutes into the qualifying final at Football Park. Back in the middle with Hine and Henwood. Hine wins it. Norwood through McIntosh. Oh, got one high and one in the back as well. He can put down 2 for Mac at that time.
And he's letting Alan Stringer know he's not going to cop any of those anymore. He just said, won't worry, Alan, I'll tell you.
Left foot kick by McIntosh. Will go over the half-forward line. A big pack will fly. In the centre was Gibbs. He couldn't take it. Mike Lanny, well tackled by McDermott. He's going to be paid holding the ball.
The decision was correct too. He had him cold.
So McDermott from the centre half-back position for the Tigers. Plays it on.
Maynard, actually.
Strong over the centre. Kernahan, oh, couldn't take it. Run through by Stringer. He has a look out wide. There it is again. Carey. Look, he can't take it. Recovers the ball. Oh, Jamie, Charlie, how he got away with that, we'll never know. Kernahan. Adam Garton into the side. And now with a chance for glory. He's got the wind at the moment, travelling towards the southern end, so they'll be over his shoulder and might assist him in from this sharp angle.
And I'll swear Peter Carey gave a flick pass then, the backhander.
Looked open-handed, but the umpire was a lot closer, I suppose.
I don't think they're allowed any more of those.
Adam Garton. He's got it. He's threaded it.
Hit the post.
Touched the post. Got it through, but not without a shave of the post. So 1 point to the Bays. They go to 1-1.
Yes, I think Peter Carey took the odds to nothing then and decided to give an open-handed hand pass, but he got away with it, and Glenelg get a point. It's the end result of that work.
Beautiful kick out from Craig Balme. He's known for his disposal from those kicks back into play. He's found Rowan Helliar out there. Copping's on the mark. Helliar a little undecided to Gallagher. Gallagher will find Michael Taylor.
Actually, Michael Taylor, nobody's playing on him. He's playing on Chris McDermott, but when Norwood had the ball, he's running free of the play.
Taylor with the 15-metre penalty looks for Des O'Dwyer a long way out. The ball away from Duthie. Down goes O'Dwyer. He gets the handball forward towards Thomas. Hall's with him. Thomas turns backwards, gets a handball away. Duthie on towards Gibbs.
Beautiful play by the Bays to take it out, and there's on the outside there, David Kernahan, is it?
Yes, it's David.
David Kernahan just holds things up now, comes in towards the middle. Big pack. Stephen Kernahan at the back of it couldn't take it.
Well done,
Chance for Norwood through Warhurst. Beautifully done to get out of that pack. On to Gallagher. He's hurled. Bad on though. And a big pack will form. And umpire he's found a free in there.
I think he missed the one to Gallagher. Gallagher should have been given a free kick for holding the man. He missed that, so he made up for it a couple of seconds later. It's what they call the
the evener-upper.
Yeah, that's right.
Something like that.
I didn't know what to say.
Dwyer flew for that. This is David Payne back in the side this week. His shot for goal is just inside. And it's the first score on the board to Norwood. It's a point. It comes at the 6.5-minute mark. They trail Glenelg 1-1.
I was trying to think of the reciprocal free kick. That's the word to use.
Gibbs. Just the short one out wide. Chris Duthie in the pocket. Steadies things up for the Bays and goes down the outer side. Oh, Kernahan got a shot in front of that pack and will be paid the mark anyway.
He's playing on the ground, Pete. Playing well up the ground, isn't he?
Going a long way. Picks up 15 metres for his trouble then. He'll put a long kick into the half-forward line. Long lead on from Copping. Couldn't take it. Marshall breaks clear beautifully. Handball is on. Simon's coming down from the wing. Lines it up. Has a look. This looks good. Bays have got away. 2-1. To Norwood's 1 point.
Tony Simons doesn't miss those, I can tell you. He loves goals on the run, sneaking down from his wing. And David Marshall's clever hand pass set up that goal. Tony got hold of it, had a quick look and popped it through. He does that monotonously, actually, coming down the ground, Tony Simons. He's a great kick for goal, possibly the best kick for goal on the Glenelg side from a player caught in the running position. Great goal, Tony Simons.
Glenelg still with Wayne Henwood in ruck against the tall man from the Redlegs in Neil Hine. The bounce, not a good one. It favours Henwood. He tries for the easy tap towards Stringer. He runs into Marshall, but Stringer's with it to Murphy. Nice spin out of trouble. Henwood. Now a chance for Glenelg to build. A long handball towards Tony Hall. Players are running now. This is Maynard, and away he goes. One bounce, two. He's got plenty of players free up front. This is Stephen Kernahan. He'll drive it long. It's a nice kick off the boot. Going to go right to the wire. Just offline and through for a point. Glenelg 2 goals, 2. They've had 4 scoring shots. Norwood 1 point.
I think Norwood a bit unfortunate that time. There's no way that ball was contestable by Neil Hine in the centre bounce.
Right, true. But I'll tell you what, it's not paying off at the moment. Not playing Keith Thomas on the ball. Norwood have got #1 rover lamenting in the forward pocket at the moment.
Bruce Winter goes for the safety of the line, and in fact, there must have been an infringement close in there because he's picked up a free kick too.
I think Peter Carey offending on Bruce Winter after that ball had just about gone over the line. As Winter's kick is around that boundary line, it comes off the boot of Maynard. In fact, it's going to be ruled out on the full. So
it's unlucky, isn't it?
Fortune favours Norwood. It's going to be Rick Neagle to bring the ball back into play. He's directly on centre wing on that outer side. Conditions glorious and a big crowd. Long kick, spoiled away from behind by Duthie. Thomas goes down through the legs of Henwood. Finally, the handball comes forward. Back to Simo. Tony Hall will win a free kick. An obvious one in the back.
Tony Hall from the centre wing position. Towards centre half forward. Copping in front. First grab, not the second though. 2 Bay players out in front now. Maynard, one of them. He's gone down. Marshall tries for a kick off the ground. Meanwhile, Maynard's been played the free. Looks like he came out of that a little bit sore too.
Yes, it's hard to say.
Maynard's kick over the half-forward line, and it's a good grab by McDermott. Just getting away. It was a nice disposal too by Maynard from the centre of the ground, who's still feeling that knock he took. So a big chance for Chris McDermott. The angle about 45 degrees. A chance to put Glenelg's third goal on the board. That's not a good kick right across the face of goal. A big pack will fly, offhands Copping. Garton's with it now. He's forced to get rid of it. And Rowan Helliar plays it safe for Norwood, and we'll see a bounce down.
You just see him jump on that ball too. He's going to eat it. Rowan Helliar.
10 minutes gone. The Bays have put 2 goals on the board. The Redlegs yet to get much going. Just 1 point. Carey in front spot, grabs it out of the air, but he's got nowhere to go. Down it goes in a heap, and now a little throw out of the pack there. Helliar removing McDermott from the fray. And the bounce now only a matter of 4 or 5 metres from the Bay goal.
It's in the goal square as Carey uses the body behind maybe the tap. Adam Garton snapped away. Helliar, the handball to Jarvis, who's strongly tackled, and that's over the boundary line, and we'll see a throw in. So desperate defence here by the Redlegs.
Stephen Copping tackled strongly then.
So the ruckman line up for this throw from just behind the point post. Stephen Kernahan tried the tap. Carey has a go. Now Norwood, Winter. Moved it on to Ross. Keith Thomas. Oh, good run out of the back. Gallagher. So Norwood into attack. Beautifully red. Wearing the head helmet today. Ace on his own in the pocket. Over his head. Can he get there in time? He's decided to leave it for O'Dwyer's grabbed it. Back to Michael-Annie. And it's come unstuck.
Yeah, disappointment there. The handball not coming off for Michael-Annie. In goes Payne once again. If it's going to be a free kick rule, too high. As it John Seabohm on the bottom of that pack, I think that'll come out with it. He worked hard there to beat 2 Norwood players. So John Seabohm can see Stephen Kernahan in the square. The kick won't quite go that far. McDermott just took up a fist. Stringer's kick's picked up by Warhurst. Turns the tide of play. Looks towards Neagle. Henwood.
Henwood from the half-back line. It's a boomer of a kick to put Norwood deep into... Bays deep into attack, but not for long. Was Helliar at centre half-back. Quick to play it on. He's got 2 players. Taylor, Balme giving a bit of cover. Short to Gallagher.
I think you'll find that dispense with the tag on McDermott.
Oh, here's trouble. He's tackled. Not impeded, though, and he's got away with it. Now he's leaped. The crowd wants ball. Taylor's got it. And it's all over.
Mike Murphy.
Murphy at centre half-back position for the Bays. Stringer out on the centre wing. Henwood in the middle. Jarvis had front spot. Henwood taps it towards Simons. Payne read it beautifully. This is Jenkins. Long handball. Gallagher free again. He's making hard work of it, Phil Gallagher. And
he's running around in circles now.
More experienced than that. He finally gets a kick forward. Wow. Finds Duthie. So a bit of nerves creeping into Phil Gallagher's game at the moment.
As the Bays work it out of defence, a long kick, and all of a sudden there's plenty of jumpers out there. Henwood, he's got a couple running for him. One of them McGuinness. McGuinness deep into the pocket now with this for Carey. Carey the one-hander, not good enough. Winter is there. McDermott met the opposition heavily, and the push in the back decision will go the Bays way plus 15, and a little bit of pushing and shoving in the bargain.
Steve Copping.
The advantage of that 15 metres takes Stephen Copping to within 15 of the goal. So it's a lively start by the Glenelg side. Stephen Copping with his first kick of the game. He's been playing exceptionally well in recent weeks. Normally a very reliable kick at the big sticks, and that one has just about split the centre. Glenelg getting away. 3 goals, 2 they are now. Norwood 1 point.
Yes, well, a free kick brought about by an untidy tackle in the Glenelg forward line, and also a 15-metre penalty. I didn't quite pick up what that was all about, the 15 metres. Nonetheless, it made Stephen Copping's task that much easier, and he nailed it. Stephen Copping doesn't need any help at all, quite frankly. He's a prolific kicker of goals, and on one occasion this year, kicked 10 goals against Sturt, as I recall, and he's a man that knows where they are. He doesn't need much help at all, but he kicked that goal to give Glenelg 3 goals to Norwood, 1 solitary point.
That's a 19-point break. 14 minutes into the first quarter. The qualifying final as McGuinness gets away for the Bays again. Oh, beautiful stab pass to Kernahan. Kernahan's got another player running. It's Maynard. Maynard can go forward again. McGuinness giving the run. He's lined it up, and it's through. Just handy stuff for the Bays. 4-2. Norwood, 1 behind.
Well, how do you stop that? Tony McGuinness just kept running. The hand pass over to the top. Stephen Kernahan got it over to Peter Maynard, who gave a left-hand hand pass to Tony McGuinness, who just kept running, as I said, finished up the recipient of the second hand pass and popped it through with his right foot, which is his non-preferred kicking foot. and he really is running hot at the moment, McGuinness. It seems to me Lester Ross is tagging him, so the whole Norwood team at the moment, on the ball that is, are indulging in a tagging situation. When Tony McGuinness goes on the ball, Lester Ross goes on with him, and when Chris McDermott's on the ball, Michael Taylor's with him.
Approaching 15 minutes of the first quarter, and Norwood trail by 25 points. A healthy margin at the moment of the Bays as Marshall tries to work it out. He's not going to get anywhere, though. As Keith Thomas comes in, and we'll see a bounce down. Umpire Kinnear.
And what they're doing, Rick and Keith, to give their Keith Thomas a run on the ball, he's changing his ruck row with Michael Aish. So quite new tactics by Norwood today, and it's not paying off at the moment.
Nothing happening out of that bounce. So we'll see the ruckman still, Henwood and Hine go again. Kinnear the bounce. Still very tight in there. Trying again.
It's unusual, you know, Keith. I've never known Neil Barnes to indulge in tagging before, but he is today, and in the final. So it's a predictable risk, isn't it?
No, the ruckman got a hand of that one. It falls in the middle of the pack, and that's Henwood who's doing all the burrowing work under there. And umpire Kinnear some practice at bouncing that ball at the moment.
You're suggesting it's a bit negative at this stage, Graham?
Well, it's not his way. They're going against their normal theories, and it is negative, yes. He's made Keith Thomas into a second ruck rover. That's what it's falling down to. H opens up on the ball, changes with Thomas in the pocket.
Michael Taylor from the free kick. Norwood into attack. It's been a while since they've been down this far, and it might not be for long because Gibbs is away. He's having a great first quarter. Marshall under the ball. Big fly, Tom Warhurst.
Courage there from Warhurst.
He backed himself, didn't he?
Thomas. Long kick. Des O'Dwyer's out on the lead. Duthie from behind. Another good spoil away. Falls in the arms of Greg Thomas. Hooks around the corner. There's Payne. He's always elusive, Payne. Strong kick. Getting back on it. Tony Hall.
Easy as you like.
Tony Hall will bring it out grandstand side, and Henwood's got plenty of room to go with. Turns, has a look, evades.
Oh, that's ball.
Oh, you beauty. Well, Macker will be tickled.
Well, I couldn't believe that.
McIntosh. And he goes short. Michael Taylor.
That was a terrible mistake by Glenelg, quite frankly.
Another short pass. Bruce Winter has come all the way down to the back line with Carey, I presume.
Yes, not by Glenelg, by Wayne Henwood. It was just, unforgivable, really.
Winter's kick's got Michael Aish on the lead. Tony Hall 5 yards behind. Handball goes back towards Thomas. Thomas stops, has a look. He's got players leading. There's O'Dwyer. Well, Duthie's managed to spoil away on 3 occasions already. And Glenelg are about to make a change as Garton will go off and Mocklock will come on. That's why Carey's back.
Yes. Carey's on the ball. Carey's on the ball. And good tactics by Graham Cornes. Bring a little fellow on to replace Wayne Henwood. And you'll find that Bruce Winter's got to pick up Mark Mocklock now, which won't suit him.
Meanwhile, O'Dwyer's kick is nowhere near the mark. Just a point by the look of the way the umpires had a look at it. So 2 points only to the Redlegs behind Glenelg's 4-2.
So Norwood kicked 2 points in 17 minutes of play. If anything, the breeze fluky, but just maybe at this stage Norwood would be into that slight breeze, but anything could happen weather-wise today as Marshall gets the handball back towards Alan Stringer. Stringer took all the time in the world and ran his 15 and finds Maynard on centre wing. Maynard's got players running everywhere. Stephen Kernahan's made a strong lead, and that's a great kick to him. The handball on the way over the top of the Copping. He's got Stringer running. The Copping is going to go all the way. That's a great wait for that right post. Just snuck back inside. And Stephen Copping's got 2 in the first quarter. Glenelg have got 5-2. Norwood 2 points.
Well, what a great piece of work then by Peter Maynard firstly in taking the mark by using Keith Thomas under the ball. He took the mark, popped it over to Stephen Kernahan, who took a running backwards mark, then gave the quick hand pass to Stephen Copping, had all the time in the world. Could have probably handballed the Wayne Stringer, the halfback flank coming down the ground, but he didn't have to because he was just as good a position himself to shoot for goal, and he nailed it. For Glenelg's 5th, and Norwood yet to open their account on the goal board.
19 minutes gone, and in 15 minutes of football, the Bays have put on 5 straight goals. Marshall, here they come again. Maynard with plenty of room. Now he's opened up the player. McGuinness can turn around and have a shot from here. That's exactly what he does. Put that one down as well. The Bays are taking this game away from Norwood. 6-2. They're 6 goals up.
Well, you can't beat that. Peter Maynard finished up the ball from the centre bounce. Went for one bounce, gave it a second. Was going to have a kick and saw Tony McGuinness unmarked 30 metres downfield, gave a long hand pass to Tony, who spun around and with his unerring left foot kick, well, it wasn't through the centre, but it just got between the big sticks. That's what they pay on. Another goal to Glenelg, 6 goals 2 by Norwood, 2 points.
Glenelg had trouble kicking for goal in the first quarter against Sturt last week, but they're right on the ball today. 8 shots for 6 goals too. Carey against Button. Maybe Button the tap almost a dead heat. Ace trying to come through with it. He gets the handball over towards Jarvis. That would have hit in a big hurry. Downfield. And he's disposed of after kicking, and the free kick will be paid down the ground. It's David Payne on the half-forward line at the moment. He's got players moving. This is Michael Aisha, continued that run.
Yes, well, that's what he does so well. And I guess when you think about it, his opponent has to be Peter Maynard, I guess, because with Michael Taylor picking up Chris McDermott, obviously the Ruck Rovers are responsible for Michael Aish.
It's Michael Aish who had a lightning first 5 minutes, a chance to put the first goal on the board. And that's a great goal kick by the acting captain today, Michael Aish. The first goal on the board for Norwood. It's taken them 20 minutes. They're 1 goal 2, Glenelg 6-2.
Yes, well, Norwood certainly needed that goal. I mean, they've been playing on memory the last 20 minutes, honestly. Glenelg have made every post a winner, and I guess it had to come sooner or later with the side with their ability, but Michael Aish ran unchecked down the field then and was able to filter into the pocket. The quick kick over from David Payne found him, and he split the centre with a lovely kick. Here's a great kick for goal, Michael Aish. That's Norwood's first goal.
21 minutes gone in the first quarter. 5 straight goals the difference now. Carey with a huge thump to half-forward, but Jenkins is there. He turns it for Norwood, puts it towards their half-forward line where it's all the bays in that pack.
Wayne Stringer.
Wayne Stringer's kick continues this drive, looking for Marshall. Jarvis read it well. Marshall from behind couldn't get the spawn away, and Temple's just flaring a little bit. Not a lot in it though. Marshall will eventually give the ball back to Jarvis, and Norwood will take off again. This is Taylor. Strong kick over the half-forward line. It's too far for Michael Annie. Picked up by Payne, and the free kick given away by Michael Annie. Well, he couldn't get to the kick. Trying to spoil away from the side.
Dwyer thought it was their kick. Unbelievable.
There's no doubt it was there, because he said he wasn't trying to mark it anymore, and Seabohm's happy to take it from the half-back flank up the centre wing for Kernahan. He can't pick it up. Stringer fumbles and pushes it forward. Tries to persuade the umpire that he kicked it, but I think you'd have to talk to him for a while to get that out of him.
Getting his hands and his feet mixed up as McIntosh goes. Great mark. It's a strong mark by Michael Annie. The handball by Michael Annie was ready to receive.
I reckon it was in play.
Back. It's going to be called back, I think. The boundary umpire has said that that ball was over. Michael Annie says it wasn't, but
I tend to agree with Michael Annie.
It was pretty tight stuff, wasn't it? Because the body was out.
Oh, sure, his legs are over, but that's not the story, is it? Where the ball is that matters. An umpire and his own.
The error of parallax. We wouldn't want to be make too fine a point.
We wouldn't be too certain from here, but it just appeared he kept it in play.
Throw in. Carey almost the knock. Maynard and Thomas, Greg Thomas, stolen out there by Taylor. Playing well, Taylor. Out comes O'Dwyer again.
Play on.
Another good
play on.
The umpire has called play on as O'Dwyer will find David Payne. Well, that must have been touched off the boot.
Yes, it was. Look at Thomas in the square by himself. He's going back to the Keith Thomas though. It's unbelievable. Greg Thomas is unmarked for 3 minutes in the square then. He's gone further upfield.
So conceding ground, but the angle is better.
It's a very slight breeze, and it'll be against him, won't it, as he lines up for this?
Well, I guess we haven't taken into account the breeze. Glenelg do have it, but it can't be that
strong,
much, surely.
There, you can tell by this kick from Thomas, which is going to go right to the wire. Carey concedes the point. So Norwood have got 1 goal 3 now. They're 9 points. Glenelg are 6-2-38.
And I'm just looking upfield, and Neil Balme has decided to leave Bruce Winter on Mark Motlop. It's David and Goliath job there, with Wayne Hember being replaced by Motlop.
Gives strong kick out. Play on, says the umpire, and Norwood are back in possession as McIntosh gives some run. He's going to duck and weave. He'll line up and have a look at him. And he's done it. Forward on the move now. 2 goal 3, Glenelg 6-2.
Great goal by Gary McIntosh to mark it down to Keith Thomas. A magnificent ball in the centre of the ground. Gave a left-hand hand pass across to Macca, who kept running with the players he always will do. And the inimitable McIntosh, in his usual style, split the centre with a great kick. With Keith Thomas, immaculate skills, trapped that ball, fed it across. And Keith Thomas, as I've said before, is playing in the unusual role today of ruck rover out of the forward pocket, which hasn't really suited him so far, but there it is. That's his first chance to do something good.
Carey got the tap forward. Chance now for McGuinness. Used his body beautifully. Shrugged the tackle from Gallagher. Gets around another opponent. Handballs to Kernahan. Stephen Kernahan all the time in the world. He lines up, steadies, and the kick, well, not good. Not for Stephen Kernahan anyway. A point. Glenelg 6-3, Norwood 2-3.
By my markings, that's Stephen Kernahan's second behind, and he is really a great kick for goal, but maybe on the run not so efficient.
Seconds away from time on, and Glenelg have a 4-goal break. Just a little bit of falling over just inside the line. So Motlop's away, and he has a look and puts it right into the square. Fly was on for Norwood. McGuinness forced to throw it, give it away, I should say, and Taylor recovers quickly.
Great defence.
Comes out to Aish.
That was great defence, Keith.
Aish has got players centre wing. Kernahan will spoil away from behind. He keeps his ground. Jenkins puts the body in.
Hey, the neck.
Handball will go on. Play on is the call. Michael Aish is away. He's well shepherded by teammate Jarvis. 3 bounces. 4. This will be his 6th kick. He's going to go short and find Thomas. The running player is Gallagher. Sidesteps.
So you're finding holes in the defence now.
Thomas.
He'll go short again, I think. No.
Had Rick Neagle in the
He's
left
got
forward
Ace by
pocket.
himself.
He's been called to play on now, so he'll sit it up towards half forward. Big fly carries the man.
It's the last place they should have gone then. They were running well then, Norwood, but they decided to go to a pack. And they were clearly undermanned for height.
Second big mark to Peter Carey. He's a centre-half back at the moment.
He'll go for big screw punt, I reckon. No, drop punt.
Comes across towards David Kernahan. He had front spot but couldn't use it. Now Gallagher couldn't possess it either, so Simons is away, uses the speed. And the Bays go into attack for Copping. Beautiful kick, Simons. He runs on. Copping will go short. On the lead. Coming out nicely is Garton.
Glenelg have made that change again. Hamwood's back on and Motlop to the bench. So Adam Garton at full forward today, replacing Steve Thompson. A youngster with many years of football ahead of him. And that kick looked very ordinary off the boot, but it's curved back beautifully for a goal. And there's a big confidence booster for Adam Garton. He's kicked 1 goal, 1 point now. Glenelg 7-3, Norwood 2-3.
And that was a mighty goal. They're very hard to get at Football Park from that side of the ground, I can tell you. A couple of years I was coaching out here, I preferred players not to shoot from that side of the goals down here at Football Park, but Adam Garton has spread it beautifully and split the centre. And he marked that ball well ahead of Craig Balme. He led well and received a great pass to finish the work off.
5 goals to break. We're in time on in the first quarter of the qualifying final. Button picks it up and hammers it forward for Norwood, but Seabohm is there.
Playing well, Seabohm, and Glenelg will build again. The kick from Stringer over the half-forward line. Looks for Maynard. Can't do it. Right spot was Jarvis. It's been ruled a push by umpire Kinnear from the front.
That's quite right too. He took his eyes off the ball, Jarvis. He ran at the play. You just can't do it.
A good effort by Peter Maynard. He knew he was going to cop something. Stood his ground. He's got Marshall making a lead to the pocket with 1 boot on. Maynard decides he'll sit it up. The big man will fly. Button got a hand to it. The tap comes towards Taylor. Gets away from Marshall. Thomas ducks and weaves. Gets around 3 players. Finds McIntosh. He won't handball this time. It's a strong kick by McIntosh. Payne got a fist to it. Simon up for Glenelg. He slips over. He's close to the line. Tries to work it towards Murphy. And
umpire didn't try and keep it in play.
He's trying to give it away this time, but I think he might have been over the line when he handballed it.
Yes, he was a bit unlucky. I suspect he fell over before.
Yeah, I suspect you're right. But the intent was to keep the ball out of play, I think, Keith, rather than in play, and Alan paid the penalty. He didn't argue that time, so I think he knew he'd been pinged.
So Glenelg back to the grandstand wing position.
Oh,
there's a flick on with the open hand again. It's
but that's okay.
It's what you get away with.
Yeah, you can do that, but you can't handball, hold it one hand and handball the open hand. The rule reads, Keith, you must handball with a clenched fist, but you can tap on with an open hand, obviously.
Carey back resting in the pocket. It's Hamwood against Button. Thomas, nice tackle by McDermott. Stringer gets in the bottom of that pack with Lester Ross, and it's tough out there. Glenelg are doing it well. 7 goals, 3. They lead by 5 goals over Norwood on 2-3.
The bounce on centre wing. Down to Lester Ross. Neagle. Michael Annie in the front spot there. Oh, good take. He ended up with 2 opponents. So Jim Michael Annie from the half-forward flank has a look forward. O'Dwyer wants him to run it out deep. O'Dwyer's beaten to that ball beautifully by Duthie.
Great mark by Duthie, holding up that last line of defence for the Bays. He's got players moving on the outer side. He's aiming this one at Kernahan. Warhurst is with him. Oh, Kernahan seemed to get some attention, but the free kick's going the other way.
Warhurst in towards that full forward position.
Oh, great mark.
Gee, looked like it might have eluded him. Oh. Just grabbed it as it went through.
He just plucked that like you'd take a grape off a vine.
Second mark to Des O'Dwyer. He's straight out in front. He's about 40 metres out. Maybe a trickle of breeze against him, but things are pretty balmy on the lake here at West Lakes this afternoon.
He's a great...
Is that an omen, Keith?
He's a great kick too, you know, Keith. Is that a pun?
I'll leave it as O'Dwyer lines up. Straight through the middle. That's handy stuff for Norwood at the 29, almost the 30-minute mark. 7-3 against Norwood's 3-3.
And you know, Norwood have a capacity to kick goals in the time on period. I've noticed that the years I've been here, they are a side that just keep plugging away, regardless of the scoreboard. They picked up that goal at the 30-minute mark of the quarter, 29-minute, 50-second mark of the quarter, and Des O'Dwyer, who has been a constant danger, although Chris Duthie's covered him very well so far, took a great mark and finished it off with a top goal.
Well, into time on now. Henwood and Button the tap. Still Stringer prepared to drop it, but Glenelg will get it away from that centre as Marshall's kick goes over the half-forward line. Looks for Copping, and that's a great grab.
So it's a great mark.
Prepared to hang in mid-air there. He's got players running loose. He's going to go short. This is Carey. Got it. Beautiful kick by Copping, and that's Carey's third mark, and he's already kicked one goal. He took an absolute beauty in the square in the opening minutes of the game.
And he presents an insurmountable problem to Neil Button. He's so big, Button's strength doesn't make any difference to Peter Carey. And of course, he's got a height advantage over Neil Button too, which if he extends his arms, he's going to take the mark more times than not.
Now it becomes an important kick for Carey because the siren has gone to end the first quarter. Glenelg already with a handy lead of 4 goals, and Peter Carey can make it 5. That kick off the side of the boot is through for a point. So at quarter time in the qualifying final, Glenelg a great start. 7 goals, 4 they are, 46 to Norwood, 3 goals, 3, 21.
Second quarter of the qualifying final at Football Park, and after a great first quarter, the Bays 7-4 to Norwood 3-3. That's a 25-point break as Hine pushes it, but David Kernahan grabs it and puts the Bays forward towards the lake end. Copping in front position. Whoa! Little nudge to Hilliard. And then dropping in there, Stephen Kernahan. Gee, had to work hard, ran all the way. Copping saw him, and so with his 4th mark, Stephen Kernahan will line up. His 5th kick so far, not too straight, unfortunately. 3 points on the board to Stephen Kernahan in the first quarter. Now he lines up and has a look at the goals from about 30 metres out. Looks better that time. They'll increase that lead. They go to 8-4 now. The Redlegs 3-3.
That's more like the Stephen Kernahan I know, but he always does kick well from a set position. The 2 points he has kicked, you'll find, are on the run. And it isn't easy for a fellow 6'5" and a bit kicking on the run because he's got, he's got to balance himself and get the angle right and everything else. But certainly, when he takes a mark and goes back and lines him up, he rarely misses Stephen Kernahan. And that mark came about from Stephen Copping taking a fine mark and passing it on to Stephen Kernahan 30 metres out on a slight angle.
So first blood of the second quarter going to Glenelg as Henwood smashes this one forward, or Gallagher ran into the umpire but still managed to take possession. Warhurst, McDermott, Kernahan tackle him. He's forced to get rid of it. Down goes McDermott, works it out towards Marshall, and now it's Hine. He's got Taylor running. Hine's in slow motion, threw it out. And that's the way umpire Kinnear has decided.
Umpire Kinnear's got to go in and sort things out there. But now the kick will go forward. Marshall just ahead of centre.
See, Hine's gone down there to give another contest.
Oh, Michael Aish.
Yes.
Just snuck in there. Read that beautifully. Gets 15 metres for his trouble. Now the play on wide. Gee, this is going to have to be a bit hair-raising too because Jarvis is in trouble. He's had to handball quickly on the Jenkins. Marshall got there first. 3 against 1 for Simons, but he's made front spot. Might take it out of bounds with him. He kept it in play, unfortunately, for the Bays, really, because nobody there to help, and so Ross goes to Gallagher. Over his head, though.
Wow.
Mark to Maynard from the edge of the square. He's got players leading out. Front spot was Helyar. He's going to be paid for too high.
You know, the last
round.
three kicks we've seen have been directed to the opposition. You know, they're finding each other in general play now.
Bruce Winter gave the run right from the back pocket, so he finds himself almost to the centre wing position. And Norwood into attack for the first time in the quarter. No chance for Payne. Too short against Murphy.
Never in it.
Murphy's got Maynard and Stringer. A choice of 2. Stringer will take off. The handball goes to the running player. This is Maynard through the centre of the ground. I think it's touched off the boot by Andrew Aish. That'll be play on Tony Simons. Jarvis dropped it like a hot spud.
He didn't actually take possession. He knew he'd be tackled as he got hold of the ball, so he played on the free kick and he got it.
So Jarvis from behind centre. Norwood try to work the ball into attack again. Spoil away from Michael Lanning, but McIntosh read it. Run from Taylor. Taylor lines up. There's nobody in the square. It'll go all the way. Norwood pick up their first goal just 3 minutes in. So Norwood are 4-3 against Glenelg's 8-4.
He's a marvellous player, Michael Taylor. I've seen him before on the run kick goals coming downfield, and that was another example of his immaculate skills. But Gary McIntosh, 10 out of 10 for him. He got the ball, could have had a kick himself, but in his usual fashion, he fed the handball across to Michael Taylor running through. And Michael Taylor, as I said earlier in the piece, is tagging Chris McDermott. So he's in and around the centre for centre bounces at this point in time. So he's hardly coming from the back line as he normally does. So that's sort of a shot for goal. But lovely goal of Michael Taylor. Glenelg's fourth, and they sneak a little closer to Glenelg.
The Redlegs moved to within 4 goals as Henwood went for the double tap. Stringer tries to barge his way through, couldn't. Now Hine, Aish, that kick drilled towards Keith Thomas. Chance now for Tony Hall. He'll find Wayne Stringer.
Got it and kicked it though.
High, right towards the centre circle.
Oh, great mark.
Good mark taken by Maynard, or is it McDermott? McDermott it is.
Very strong player, Chris McDermott, very strong.
McDermott towards the half-forward flank. McGuinness out in front, but Lester Ross held the ground beautifully, read it nicely.
McIntosh by himself.
That's where it's going.
Now Payne's by himself.
You're directing the play very well at this stage,
You can just see it from here, can't you?
You got Taylor in the middle if you want him. McIntosh, though, cuts across. It does get to Taylor eventually. Taylor have another shot in a matter of 2 minutes in a row. This will go all the way as well. 2 goals in the quarter to Norwood, both from Michael Taylor. They're making a game of it now, 5-3, Glenelg 8-4.
I would hazard to say maybe this bruise is a bit stronger than we think it is. Michael Taylor's 2 goals have carried quite a distance, and he hasn't really kicked them from close in. They've been a good 50 metres out, and they've made it comfortably on both occasions. And Michael Taylor, again, the receiver of a hand pass, finished it off and split the centre with a magnificent kick. This is a real game on our hands at the moment. 5-3, Norwood played Glenelg 8-4.
Approaching the 6-minute mark, and already we see Michael Taylor with 11 kicks, so he's having plenty of effect on the game at the moment while tagging McDermott. As Hine got the tap towards Aish, he appeared to be held onto. Is Taylor going to be allowed to go? No. Umpire Kinnear will pull it back, and it's going to be Michael Aish from the centre of the ground.
He goes just pretty well straight down looking for Michael Annie, and Michael Annie was in front spot, could have taken it. Keith Thomas is quick to recover it though. He's boned one onto the boot, just drifting away a little too far though. Norwood 5-4 now. They're 3 goals behind the base.
It's just good to watch a player with the skills though. There's Keith Thomas caught in his wrong foot, just threw it to his left, like he does it every Saturday. You know, he's one of those guys, a 2-sided player, does it so easily, but he missed the goal. It's swung away. A reprieve for Glenelg.
Duthie, long kick, 2-on-1. Hine was in the middle. He was sandwiched. Tony Hall, the handball. Glenelg will build out of defence. Stringer. Hall continues that run. He'll go short towards Stephen Kernahan. Nice pick up on the half volley. Running player is Tony Simons. Over towards McGuinness. Onto that left boot he goes. Well, that kick not quite as accurate as we saw in the first quarter. He kicked 2 in the first. That one offline for a point. Glenelg are 8-5. Norwood 5-4.
He's entitled to miss one, I guess, but that was similar to the Keith Thomas miss, possibly. Could have been a goal, a bit of luck.
Terrible kick out by Craig Balme.
We've seen plenty of action in the second quarter as Norwood work it out. Short stuff at the moment.
They've lifted Keith Norwood, haven't they? You can feel it.
Yep. Oh, McIntosh met heavily there.
David Kernahan, I think he's still down.
Meanwhile, Heliar's run it through and he's gone all the way, and this one had to do a beautiful off break, but it wasn't there, so 1 point to Norwood. That was a very strong bump in the middle to...
I missed that, was it?
Yeah, it was quite fair. McIntosh and Kernahan met. He was certainly shepherding legally, but Kernahan filled it.
Boy, oh boy.
Good finals football as Tony Hall got a hand to it. Off hands Ross. Keith Thomas.
Unmarked.
Short and casual to Greg Thomas. He's going to keep going. Onto the right boot. It's curling back. Now might have a great goal. Look. And Norwood are running hot. 6 goals, 5. Closer to Glenelg. 8-5.
He doesn't miss those, Greg Thomas. They look like they're miraculous goals, but he does it every Saturday when he's lucky enough to be out on the ground. He often is an interchange player off the fence, and I've seen him kick at least 5 of those goals when the odds are against him. He had a quick look, and he pinpointed the ball perfectly where it swung back late to become a goal. Norwood 6th, and Glenelg have 8. There's 2 goals of difference. Unbelievable comeback by Norwood so quickly.
Well, Norwood 3 goals in this quarter. The Bays have had 1 to answer. So now we've got a very tense final on our hands. And Norwood get a free kick, a valuable one just behind centre. Warhurst plays it on. Coming out from the back, Winter. Winter puts them into attack. That's all the Bays there. Henwood couldn't take it though. Michael Annie read it off the front. Nagel
McIntosh.
towards McIntosh. He's on his own, would you believe? He's walked into centre half forward. He takes the chest mark. He's got Gallagher out wide, but thinks about it, then decides to go back and line up.
The Bays appear rattled all of a sudden, Keith. People are running unchecked. Bruce Winder by himself over here, and he's still by himself at this point in time. I know he should be on somebody, but he just came out of the back line so easily.
McIntosh drifts away. So Norwood now 6-6. The Bays 8-5.
Now Winder's coming upfield to pick up Peter Carey, I see. No, he's not. It's
He'll come across and have a look at Henwood.
Wayne Henwood it is. He had to work out who was on the ball and who was coming off. In the meantime, though, he picked up such an easy kick, unchecked himself, coming down the ground, which can be a constant thorn in a side, seeing a backline player picking up kicks unmarked.
Conditions still very warm if they continue. Players will be extremely tired by the final quarter. David Payne had front spot. Beautiful pick up again. Nice bulk as well. Fires it out. They'll find Michael Ace. Was it a half volley or a mark? Umpire said it was a mark. For Michael Ace, it's his fourth for the day.
And what a skillful player David Payne is, given half a chance. He hasn't done much so far, but that was a great bit of balancing, a great balancing act. That he spun around, found hold of the ball, found possession, and put it out in front of Michael Ace.
Ace with kick number 9. That won't come back and is through for a point. And Norwood still getting closer. They're 6-7 now, 43. Glenelg 8 goals, 5, 53. That's 10 points the difference.
We mentioned the stat yesterday, Rick. 41 of their last 48 games, Norwood have kicked more goals than behinds, but today it's deserted them. That particular statistic.
Just a couple of goals the difference now at Football Park, and the second quarter's come alive as the Redlegs just maintain possession in their half of the ground. The Bays now will try to work it. Simon's well done. Here they come again. Big Thomas short to Gallagher. And Norwood will line up and they'll put it right into the square again. Ace is there, short. Gee, there's plenty of players loose. Keith Thomas turns around. He's in shooting distance. Would you believe he's got someone else loose in the pocket? Jenkins has got time to turn around, have a look, and pop it through. Coach Cornes will be a bit savage about that little passage of play because Norwood are now 6-7. They're just behind the Bays.
And you couldn't blame Graham Cornes for being upset because these people have got players on them, obviously, but they're running free of the play, Keith. And the Bay players are sort of hoping someone gets in the road and the rebound ball will find them unmarked and upfield. It's not working out. And Danny Jenkins, who isn't the greatest kick for goal on the side, ran unchecked down the field, and the pass over the top found him and he popped it through. For Norwood 7th, they're only 4 points behind. Remarkable comeback in such a short time by Norwood.
Played 11 minutes of the second quarter. Norwood are within 4 points. It's Hine against Carey. Hine favoured by the bounce. He was forced to get rid of it. McGuinness couldn't do much. Stringer tries the handball over the head. Out wide it's Phil Gallagher. He's got Kernahan to beat. Concedes ground and then spears out the handball. Taylor short towards the centre of the ground. Looks for Rick Neagle. Spoiled away by Stringer. Only to Jarvis, however. And Jarvis's kick is high and long. They'll have to fly.
Great mark.
Beautifully read by Duthie.
Yeah, it's a great mark. 5
good marks already in defence.
Duthie turns it around to grandstand side for Simons. Simons has a look and there's no player free, so he's got to go back. McGuinness wants it in short, but he decides to pop it long to the grandstand wing. Stephen Kernahan front spot couldn't take it. Jenkins taken off the ball. Now Stringer, plenty of pressure. Play it on, says the umpire. Hine goes a go. Now Payne. Good play. Beautiful hand pass to Gallagher. Gallagher has a look forward. Pops it across short to Mike. Beautiful work across the body.
Well, you can't beat that. You really can't. That was just superb football. David Payne's hand pass was crisp, but then Phil Gallagher had it with a quick look upfield, found Des O'Dwyer, and no fullback could stop that. Chris Duthie not at fault whatsoever. O'Dwyer just had a yard on him, and the ball went straight to him.
Des O'Dwyer with the kick, and that looks beautiful kick off the boot. What a goal to score. Norwood have actually hit the front. 8 goals, 7. Glenelg 8-5.
Wow, what a crushing blow to Glenelg to lose the lead at this stage of the game. And here's David Kernahan, who took a sickener off Gary McIntosh, I believe, coming off the ground for Scott Salisbury. And Scott Salisbury will be asked to add a bit of vigour to the packs, of course, or the back one coming up the ground. He'll add something to their play, no doubt. But bad luck for David Kernahan playing in his first final.
In 20 minutes of football, Norwood have reduced the deficit from 36 points to hit the front. They did it all in the last 10 minutes of the first quarter, and so far in this quarter it's been all the way for the legs. Payne tries to get it out of that pack and can't do so. The Bays had a chance. They couldn't grab it either, and so the bounce now on the half-forward line.
It's unbelievable turnabout, Keith, this game. The Bays are doing it so easily.
The umpire can hear with the bouncers. Kernahan takes the rest on the bench. That's David Kernahan. The tap goes towards Neagle from Carey, and that's going to be a stalemate as well, and we'll see another ball down. It's on Norwood's half-forward line. They lead by 2 points.
Scott Salisbury's gone to a wing, incidentally, straight on to Phil Gallagher.
Michael Taylor's going to be paid the free kick. The holding on by the Glenelg player in McDermott, so Taylor a long way out.
He's kicked 2 this quarter, Keith.
He's having a great game. This will be his 14th kick as O'Dwyer and Thomas lead, but Taylor's going to go all the way, just with that extra bit of oomph. He's offline and through for a point. Norwood 8-8. They're 56. Glenelg are 8-5, 53.
Playing a great game, Michael Taylor. I originally criticised the move of playing him as a tagger, but he's not playing it as a tagger. He's picking up kicks himself.
Well, Norwood are just doing it easily in this quarter. 5-goal-5 to 1-goal-1 so far, and that's a fairly typical example of Norwood having to toss a coin to see who's taking it at this stage. In comes Aish towards the full forward position. O'Dwyer was forced to tap it away. The Bay's still under pressure because Michael Annie's over the ball. And umpire Kinnear will bounce it about 25-30 metres out, straight out in front of that Norwood goal. Still big danger for the Bays.
They appear shell-shocked at the moment, the Tigers. They're just waiting for something to happen. It's not going to. They don't make it happen.
Tap from Carey went towards McDermott. His kick will find Tony Simons, who'll run it on quickly. Now a chance for the Bays. Alan Stringer through the centre of the ground. He's got McGuinness running to the flank. He's going to go and look for Copping. Copping couldn't hang it. Almost McGuinness the take, but you read it, Graham. Free kick to Stephen Copping, and he's certainly worrying Rowan Hellyer.
And Neil Hines gone downfield for this long kick if he goes long, so I wouldn't advise him to go to the square.
He doesn't. Out comes Kernahan, off hands, chance for Neil Hine. He didn't get the mark, but he'll get the kick.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Out wide towards Hellyer.
Hellyer sees the ball coming. His handball missed. Gallagher found Salisbury. Salisbury with sheer body work gets that ball forward, but it was scrubby stuff. Now Guinness recovers it well. Oh, puts it on the Maynard who misses it. Oh, diving Charlie.
Would you believe that? They're playing without luck now.
Without skill too, I must say.
Oh, beautiful take by Danny Jenkins. Away he goes. Marshall will get him in a moment. 2 bounces. Jenkins has got to kick it now. Kick number 5, and he'll find David Payne. No, Murphy got the second tap.
I'll play
on the
Murphy.
ball.
Still a
Tony
chance.
Hall.
Chance for the Bays now, but Hall's gone.
Charlie.
They just can't get the ball moving, the Bays. Aish is under pressure, but all of a sudden, with the crowd roaring, the Bays at least have held things up.
I reckon they smeared that ball with a bit of grease, Graham.
Poor old Peter Maynard, I feel for him. He had everything going for him, then the ball just got away from him.
Beautiful tap by Carey to McDermott to Simons. What can they do with it this time?
He's got to kick it.
The kick goes over the half-forward line, and Kernahan's well out in front of Warhurst. Stephen Kernahan with the mark on the outer side. The kick will be long and strong. It'll be a big fly. Garton couldn't do much with it. Chance now for McGuinness. He's reading the ball well off hands. Sold the dummy. He's going to go with his right foot. Sits it up towards the edge of the square. Big fly. No one able to take the mark. Down goes Jarvis. The whistle's gone. That's going to be Jarvis's free kick.
So Jarvis, almost that full-back position, plays on, has to double back now.
You got to
Hellyer will come down the grandstand side. His kick is wide. McIntosh will have to run. He's got there. Bounce is not favouring him. Stringer there.
Well done, Alan Stringer. Good stuff. I think Macca had him cold then, but Alan Stringer hung in there and made a contest out of it. The ball has been dispossessed of Gary McIntosh.
Going to be Henwood from behind of Hine. McIntosh couldn't handle it. Marshall, nice spin out of trouble. Great left foot kick towards the square. Copping's going to be sandwiched. Out came Balme, knocked the whole pack down.
So Craig Balme.
Now, Glenelg just have to get onto the loose people now. They have this time round.
Balme's having a look and he decides Neil Hines the best opportunity.
He's right.
Wide on the grandstand wing. He's in front, spot the paid off. The firm hands.
What a great kick though, Keith. Straight to the tall arms, the long arms of Neil Hines.
We'll look for Michael Annie, who's sandwiched between Seabohm and Carey. Payne taps it forward. Can he pick it up?
What
He does
skills.
beautifully. What a game he's having. Back in from that injury. He's found Gallagher. Taylor will run towards the middle of the ground as Gallagher does a 360. Greg Thomas bounce famous Michael Taylor. And there's Buxton Fortune. Is he going to get his kick away? He does. It's strong and long. Aish will fly. Gets the sit. All the crumbs.
So it's Murphy who recovers to Duthie. The Bays now with a chance to work with possession. Gibbs has a look. He's got players loose. The run on.
Wayne Stringer
running through the wing. The Bays build now. Stephen Kernahan under this one. So down into the pack of the half-forward position. Warhurst traps it under him. Comes out. Still a chance. Hellyer. He can't do anything with it. Crowd wants ball, but still no chance.
Oh.
Gee, the umpire letting it go, but
yeah, good umpiring though, Keith. Top umpiring that. A weak umpire would have said, oh, I'll give a free kick here to break it up. It was good stuff.
So Glenelg have it in attack at the moment. They trail by 3 points. We've played 18 minutes of the second quarter.
Umpire Jim Field.
Quarter for Norwood so far.
Sorry.
Tap comes sideways. Kernahan getting onto it. Salisbury provides the Shepherd. Chance now for Marshall. Left foot snap towards goal. He's long and strong, but it's going to be offline. In fact,
the post, I thought.
It did at the post. The mark shouldn't be there. It was definitely Winter's hand, then the post, then Winter.
Yeah, I thought, but maybe it wouldn't hit the post personally. His body hit the post and gave the impression.
We're not as close as his old umpire.
Yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Whatever happened.
He was pleased about that, won't he?
Bruce Winter's not arguing. Comes up.
Stephen Kernahan.
Good mark by Kernahan. That's his 6th for the day. He's having a good contest against Warhurst at the moment.
Adam Garton's unmarked.
Jarvis will have to back into him. Halliard didn't really fly for it. It falls loose again. The handball comes out towards Neil Button. Neil Button can create something. He's got Ryan Halliard out here. The handball given. Well, Halliard overran it.
Just McDermott.
And again, Graham. Well, it was a sloppy handball out of defence that gave Glenelg the opportunity.
So Chris McDermott, about 45, maybe 50 metres out. It's a long way, but he's lining up.
Have a look at Macaron McGuinness coming downfield halfway up round about the centre half forward spot.
Dermott's kick has gone right to the square. There's a big fly from Kernahan. Go! Oh, no, I think he's done it. Oh, no, he might have missed. No, it's all right. Adam Garton. Good stuff, Adam Garton. So the Bays pull the lead back again. They go to 9-5. Norwood 8-8.
Oh, boy, did Glenelg need that. They really did. They've struggled like crazy this quarter. They kicked into a slight breeze. Adam Garton playing in full forward in a pack of 4 or 5 people contesting the mark. It came to ground. He put a quick foot to it, hooked it back, and as Keith said, it looked like it could have missed, but it was a goal. Top goal, Adam.
It's Glenelg back in front by 3 points. Carey and Button, Aish, McGuinness, the 2 number 8s. McGuinness holds that solid bump well. This is Neagle. The handball a bit loose towards Jenkins. Down goes Stringer. Beautiful pick up by Jenkins. On towards Neagle. Neagle's going to go and look for O'Dwyer out wide. Duthie first there.
So Duthie, good run. Takes it right down towards the wing. Oh, the fly is on from Marshall, but didn't take the ball, and so the free kick paid to Danny.
If he marks that ball, it must be allowed though, Keith.
That's right.
You're allowed to go for a ride. That's the new rule. Well, not a new rule, but it's on the books, that.
Jarvis, long kick. Mr. Ross receiving attention for Norwood in the centre of the crowd. There's O'Dwyer, 2 grabs from the back of the pack.
He's a problem, a real problem, O'Dwyer.
That's 4 marks today so far for Des O'Dwyer, and we know he can kick goals on his day.
When I say that, he's a problem in the air. Chris Duthie's beaten him every time at ground level in the run of the ball, but in the air, O'Dwyer, I'd say, holds the points.
Just lining up for goal number 3. Kicked 1 goal, 1 in the first quarter. He's already got 1 in the second, and, well, if this is straight, Norwood will be back in front. By having a close look. It's a goal to Des O'Dwyer, his 3rd of the game, and Norwood go back in front. They're 9 goals, 8, Glenelg 9-5.
They're having a great duel, Chris Duthie and Des O'Dwyer. First one, then the other, gains the initiative. But you must say, I suppose, that O'Dwyer would hold a points decision at the moment. 3 goals on the board. He's taking some clever marks, some strong overhead stuff. I remember one in the first quarter he just plucked so cleanly and so cleverly. And it's a good duel, but O'Dwyer with 3 goals on the board has helped Norwood edge 3 points ahead. 9-8, plays 9-5, as Rick just said.
Well, after a superb first 10 minutes, in fact, that's Norwood's first goal in the latter half of this quarter. Now Halliard.
Does that well, Halliard.
Did it to Warhurst. Warhurst got Gallagher out on the wing. Philip Gallagher will have a look forward. The kick goes right all the way to O'Dwyer. Didn't take it that time. Greg Thomas was there to assist. Michael Lanning tries to get it out the back. Working hard in there is Wayne Stringer for the Bays.
Good umpiring again. Rick Kinnear didn't rush into it and call the ball up as soon as there was a couple of hands on the ball. He made sure it was a trap ball.
McCare against Michael Lanning. They both spin around with Michael Lanning the tap. The kick goes forward from Salisbury. Back. And David Kernahan. No, it's going to be paid the mark to Warhurst. You didn't pick that one, Graham.
I thought I was on the ball then.
That's definitely a mark to Ross Gibbs against Greg Thomas.
I thought Stephen Kernahan was inconvenienced up here then. I was wrong.
So Ross Gibbs from deep in defence, down the grandstand side. Chris Simons. The Bays working forward. Marshall gives him a lead a little further forward. Simons decides to go a little longer. Good take Maynard, isn't it? Or McDermott.
Maynard's
quickly on. There's Alan Stringer.
Stephen Kernahan by himself.
Kernahan out there. Taylor going to meet him now. Another player forward is coughing. Oh, just got to him. Yes,
it was a really grass-burning pass. Not the sort of stuff Stephen Copping likes to indulge in, because he's a great overhead mark. And, you know, when he's got to fall to the ground to retain possession, there's always a risk it might pop out of your hands. But in that case, he held it.
Stephen Copping with kick number 7. He's punched that very nicely, and it's come back beautifully. And Stephen Copping's playing exceptionally well. It's 3 straight goals, his personal tally. Glenelg's got 10 goals, 5 now. Now they're back in front, Norwood 9-8.
Yes, well, the biggest danger to Norwood winning this game will be the Copping-Kernahan combination in the forward line. It's brought about a couple of goals this quarter. I recall the first goal they got this quarter, the Bays, that Stephen Copping marked at the centre-half forward, popped over a pass to Stephen Kernahan. This time, Stephen reciprocated the effort by giving the ball to Stephen Copping. He finished off the work with a good goal. Glenelg hit the front again by 3 points.
Just a minute to go to time on in the second quarter of this qualifying final, and the lead's now changed 4 times in the quarter as Carey tries to punch his way out of that pack. McIntosh now gets the handball on. Quick one from Jarvis to Gallagher. Gallagher's got to work pretty fast and smooth out there. He's looking for ace, but David Kernahan is there.
It's back on, David.
He gets possession, turns it back in. Oh, Maynard is there. Now the Bays will build from here. Running is Marshall. Marshall looks ahead and goes all the way in for Copping. Huge fly from Winter, though.
Great mark by Winter. He'll play it on quickly. This is Rowan Helliar. Hellier's gone out wide, and
David Marshall.
Great kick.
No, Peter Maynard.
Maynard out there, who read it very well. Maynard will drive the Bays back into attack. His 12th kick. Kernahan's going to be about the mark. He is. No, Adam Garton, free kick.
Push.
As the player pushed out, Garton has seen a lead. He's going to go short. Oh, McGuinness almost took a one-hander. In fact, the kick may be looking for Stephen Kernahan. That's with the ball now. Kernahan makes some room, gives to McGuinness. He's the one on the left foot.
Golly.
And the kick is through for a behind. Glenelg 10-6, Norwood 9-8.
Well, Tony McGuinness, who was kicking with great accuracy in the first quarter, has deserted him in this term. That's his second point in about 15 minutes.
Craig Balme to grandstand side. Michael Aish on his own out here, gave him plenty of run. Aish will play the boundary line.
Courageous mark, John Seabohm, against the face of play. Playing well, Seabs.
Seabohm looks for Copping over his head, through the legs of Neil Button. And umpire Kinnear rules that ball isn't going anywhere, as Hellier having some strong words to say to umpire Kinnear.
Incidentally, Scott Salisbury's gone to a back pocket onto David Payne, I should say, not to a back pocket, onto a half-back flank onto David Payne. And David Kernahan's back on the wing.
Now Glenelg through Stringer. Stringer puts it onto the left boot, but Bruce Winter, another telling mark in that back pocket position. He's 5th for the game. He's gone short this time. This could be tricky stuff. David Marshall. Michael Taylor. Neither, says umpire Kinnear.
Both had a very good grip on that ball.
Michael Taylor's having a little word with him about it.
And they're both claiming it should have hit the mark, but
Backer again.
it's McIntosh who gives it now towards Jarvis. Jarvis's kick is high,
Tony
covers
Hawes in this.
50 metres. Seabohm couldn't handle it. Payne read it beautifully off hands again. He's got to beat 3. Did it superbly on towards Rick Neagle. His kick's hurried one. Duthie can't get onto it. Didn't quite get the right sort of a kick, and it's through for a point.
Need a leg break, actually, Rick.
Kick off quickly coming from Duthie out towards the scoreboard side.
Roskill running 3.
Wayne Stringer there, just having a look forward. He's got Maynard up on the wing and finds him beautifully.
Does it well.
Now Maynard turns and has a look. Marshall leading out onto the flank for him. Decides to put it in towards the centre-half forward position. Kernahan, big fly, didn't quite take it though, according to the umpire. Now Simons. Simons turns, he's got a bit of room. Stab passes superbly. Oh, he had to get paid the mark. Play it on, says the umpire. No, by that time the
free kick.
The free kick had to be paid to Copping because he had his name on the mark, and Hellier came across the back of his head, and Stephen Copping lines up now. Decides to put it into the centre for Stephen Kernahan. Kernahan front spot. Will be paid over the shoulder. Line up from 30 metres out.
Yeah, I'm afraid Tom Moyes lost his direction then. He didn't know where Stephen was for a moment. By the time he spun around, he'd gone across his shoulder with the arm, and he must pay the penalty.
During that passage of play, Glenelg made a change. Henwood has a rest on the bench, and Michael Murphy has come back on for the Bays. This will be kick number 9 for Stephen Kernahan. 1 goal, 2 so far today. 7 handballs. It's a strong kick off the boot, but he hasn't quite got it on the ball at the moment, kicking-wise. 1 goal, 3 his tally, and Glenelg have got 10-7 to Norwood 9-9.
It's very unlike Stephen Kernan. He'll be castigating himself. He's a perfectionist. He likes to do everything right, as most players do, but Stephen's a real perfectionist.
Just 4 points the difference. We're 28 minutes into the quarter. Jenkins recovering off the pack, taps it back for McIntosh.
Playing well.
Does the 360. Plenty of time with shepherding from Michael Annie to Jenkins, back to Macca.
1-2.
McIntosh now with a long kick to the centre-half forward position. The fly from Greg Thomas almost comes off. Payne forward, Keith Thomas there. Greg Thomas now, plenty of pressure from McDermott. Evades him though. Jarvis coming through from the back with a run. Goes around David Kernahan fairly easily. Lines up onto the left boot all the way. Lead back to Norwood as the half-time break looms. They're 10 goals 9. 2 points exactly in front of the Bays.
Well, here's a good kick of the ball, Andrew Jarvis. All he needed was a clear shot at them, and I thought he might have got it, and he did. He weaved his way through cleverly. He left his half-back flank, leaving his opponent in his wake, and finished up with the ball, thought about it, looked at the goals and popped it through. Good stuff, and Norwood are back in front. By gee, it's been a great quarter of football by Norwood, and the Bays have certainly not gone down like they haven't given the lead up easily either.
So we approach 29 minutes. We've seen the lead change 5 times so far in this quarter. Norwood built again through Taylor over towards Jarvis, who's got some confidence now with that goal. Marshall's out there with him, and Marshall's got front spot towards the boundary line. He's got Simons for support. Simons will get around Jenkins without too much trouble. He's got Stringer short, but he's going to go and look for Carey. Gallagher couldn't handle it. Neil Button can for Norwood. All the time in the world for a quick look. Miss Thomas, Marshall, both Ross Gibbs, I should say. And that's going to be the throw-in on the half-forward line.
You don't often see Ross Gibbs kick left foot. That's why I went, oh, man. He often stops and comes back into the play.
Just managed to keep it in by a metre as Carey contests this one for the Bays. Payne turns around. Geez, been a danger for them. Seabohm picks it up. Now Gibbs. Gibbs across to Wayne Stringer. He's got plenty of room. He can run right through the middle here. That's what he does now with a beautiful kick to Copping.
Murphy by himself.
Copping the danger at the moment at the other end. Copping decides to hold things up and wait for a fly.
He's gone to the right man.
Kernahan in front, upset by Warhurst though, and Norwood will get out of trouble.
On his knees, the play player has gone down. Neil Button, I think, Adam Garton would now be the infringed.
I didn't see it.
I never touched him, saying Button.
Whether he did or not,
Not
by
sure
Jim Field says, yes, you did. And Adam Garton is going to pick up a very valuable free kick. No doubt about the distance here, it just needs the accuracy, Adam Garton.
The funny part was, Craig Baum had the ball, didn't know what to do with it. Didn't know whether to stay on the ground, handball,
he's praying.
Handball or nobody, or just have a wild kick. And
Some suggestions in the box that this one has been given as a prize for acting.
Yeah. Well, acting or not, it's resulted in 6 points. And Glenelg, well, it's a telling one right on the siren, because the siren has gone to end the first half of the qualifying final. And at half-time, following a great comeback by Norwood, Glenelg lead 11 goals, 7-73. Norwood are on 10 goals, 9-69. That's a margin of 4 points. The Bays in front. Siren sounds to start the second half at Football Park, the qualifying final between Norwood and Glenelg, and virtually a game in 2 halves already. All Glenelg in the first quarter, they led by 25 points. But a great second quarter by Norwood. They kicked 7 goals 6 to reduce that deficit to 4 points. And here's David Kernahan into attack for the Bays. A long kick, there's no one home. And getting back on it, Bruce Winter couldn't quite handle the bounce, and we're going to see a throw in by that right point post.
Copping wants the kick. Out in the full.
Just about on the full.
Came off his foot onto the post.
Unfortunate for Bruce Winter, but luck's a fortune for Stephen Copping, who's looking movement around that square at the moment, but Copping's going to have a shot. This will be kick number 10. He tried the
screw punt,
the back sort of screwy, or whatever you'd like to term it, and it's out of bounds on the full.
It's called a backward screw kick, Rick.
A check side punt.
Or something like that.
Banana bender.
It came the wrong way to his normal kicking foot.
Gee, this is negative stuff from Norwood, and we see the ball come across to Winter. Would have gained them about 5 metres towards their own goal line. He missed it and they're out of bounds.
Backing on Winter, running away from Peter Carey, I'd say, Keith. It might be a ploy they've got up their sleeve.
Throw in, Craig Baum got the touch. It's Michael Taylor on the bottom of that pack, and he's going to win himself a free kick. And a great first half, Michael Taylor.
Chris McDermott doesn't like that free kick either, I wouldn't think.
So Michael Taylor from the back pocket for the Redlegs comes down the grandstand side.
Andrew Ace is on.
That's the one who was in there. Now McIntosh to Michael Aish on towards Jarvis, or Nagel it was, I think, but it's going to be cleaned up here by Henwood. And Henwood returns the ball into the attack zone for the Bays.
Alan Stringer will fly against McIntosh. Off-hands chance for Maynard. It's going to be ruled a free kick. Michael Taylor infringing, and Maynard will take it from at the edge of the square. Long way out from goal. He's going to put it up high and let the big men fly. Carey sets himself. Garton flew, couldn't handle it. McGuinness will be first to it. Oh, bounce didn't quite favour him. He goes down on his hands and knees, gets rid of it, picks it up. He's got two to beat, and he's still fighting for it, and then they both fall on top of him.
Surely it was holding the man.
So Norwood out of strife. Down the grandstand wing again. 2-on-1 against Michael Lenny. Thump away from Henwood.
Well, McIntosh and
that ruckus
McGuinness
continues.
Still pulling and shoving.
The right forward pocket. Carey holding on to Lester Ross, Simons and McGuinness, and I no doubt that continuing from that tackle a moment ago as the play continues. McDermott's kick to the pack. They look dispersed. Balme takes the mark.
So Craig Balme will settle things down for the legs. Ooh, one stage there he was going to go backwards, and now a booming kick towards Aish. And Aish has got Winter running for him if he wants him. He'll certainly get protection from Winter eventually. Aish decides to go around. Whoa, fairly thumping sort of meat of the shepherd there, but meanwhile still in possession Norwood on the half-forward line. O'Dwyer plays it on quickly. Michael Aish has moved down for him. Aish has got a player in the square. It's Payne, but Tony Hall again.
Tony Hall, luxury of a bounce, and drives like he'll find McDermott. Gets around Andrew Aish easily. McDermott does, and drives over centre wing. He's going to look for Tony Simons. Jarvis from behind, no mark. McGuinness will be first to it again. He overruns the ball. Simons gets a funny old handball back towards McGuinness. And Lester Ross, Graham Campbell, picked the free.
Lester Ross, short to Taylor.
They do that well, Norwood, don't they?
Taylor now towards centre half forward. Michael Annie on the
Aish is by
chest.
himself. You won't go to him.
Back to Gallagher. Gallagher sees Payne. Norwood built beautifully from the half-back line that time.
I'm not joking. Michael Aish is by himself for 5 minutes over the far side of the ground. Now Wayne Henwood's running to him. How do they do it, Norwood? They just seem to materialise all of a sudden in their forward line.
So
They
now,
do.
Payne, who got his opportunity back in the side with Neville Roberts out, lines up, and he's put that one very wide. Fly sees a Norwood player come down with it, and Jim Michaelani will have a severe angle to deal with, but he took that firmly.
Watch this closely, Keith. I know Norwood have a plan not to shoot from angles, but I don't think anything's offing at the moment.
4 premierships worth of experience in Jim Michaelani.
Really?
So he'll just settle down and take a look. The goal umpire had to move a long way. Too far. Norwood just 1 point. 10 goals, 10. The Bays 11-7.
Just shows you that 4 premierships doesn't mean you kick straight for goal at the opportune time, but that wasn't an easy one. And I know that the Norwood game plan is always to try and kick square onto the goals. And with that thought in mind, they usually score more goals than behinds on any given Saturday. Although today's a Sunday.
The kick in. Comes grandstand side looking for Wayne Ham with the big fly. Alan Stringer from behind. Guernsey number 25 now. For most of the season he wore number 1. And Stringer goes over centre wing. Aish getting back on it in the middle of the pack. Salisbury and Tony Simons had front spots. So Salisbury on the ground for Glenelg. Simons will go with his left foot towards the right forward pocket area. Stephen Kernahan to sit. Warhurst just put out of position there. Kernahan's got plenty of players in the square. He'll sit it up. He's got Carey and Copping there. And the mark will be taken by Craig Balme.
Marking well, Craig Balme today.
We saw 3 good marks from the Bays, but finally Craig Balme stopped the run. Gallagher now. Short to Jarvis, all through his legs. Good tap on by Stephen Kernahan. McGuinness and all sorts of bother. Gets the hand pass free though. Now Adam Garton with a chance to run around. Onto the left boot. Booms it in. Bays pick up their first goal in the quarter. 12-7. Norwood 10-10.
Gee, what a remarkable goal by Adam Garton too. He doesn't normally force himself onto his left foot, but had no hesitation in running around on his wrong foot and having a snap and potting it right through the middle. It was a magnificent goal. And, well, gee, he's done the job today, Adam Garton. He doesn't play full forward that often. He's kicked 4 goals. 4 goals won, actually, from 5 shots for goal. Even though Craig Balme's had his moments, Adam Garton certainly has the goals on the board that prove his worth.
Back in the centre, a Norwood player down in defence. I think it may be Lester Ross, who's copped a high one to, looks to be a cheekbone area, but with the play, Michael Taylor over towards Aish. Norwood build again. Aish's kick looks for O'Dwyer. He slipped over and allowed Duthie the mark.
Duthie from centre half back. Comes out towards the grandstand. Maynard there. Oh, had to take the mark despite the pressure. He felt that one as he had taken the ball.
In the small of the back, I'd say.
Now from the half back line still. He works it across towards the centre of the ground. Stephen Kernahan, front spot. Another good grab from him. That's 9 marks from Stephen Kernahan as he goes forward for Copping. Oh, couldn't take it out in front of him. Turns though, has a look. Centre half forward position, 50 metres out, all the way. 4th goal to Copping. The Bays are 13-7. Norwood 10-10.
There's the other danger man of the Norwood defence, Stephen Copping. First of all, Stephen Kernahan took the mark at the centre of the ground, gave a hand pass to David Marshall. The ball finished up in Stephen Copping's hands, turned around on the move and split the centre with a magnificent kick for his 4th goal for the game. And he certainly has been a handful for Rowan Halliday today.
So Glenelg sneak away by 15 points now as we've played almost 8 minutes of this 3rd term. Norwood get to get a goal in this quarter. The bounce favours Henwood. He smashes it out wide. Miss McDermott. Gallagher picks it up and gets a rather hurried high kick away. And it's easy mark for Wayne Stringer. It's 199th today, Wayne Stringer.
And for one awful moment, he wasn't going for that. He thought it was somebody else's ball, I feel.
Wayne Stringer puts the Bays into attack again. Stephen Kernahan front spot. Warhurst couldn't take it down either. Jarvis.
Great hand pass.
On to Taylor. Taylor into the open spaces. Almost found the runner at one stage. Now Aish.
Well done.
Andrew Aish to Payne. Payne has got plenty of room. He's going all the way.
He'll go all the way.
He'll kick it too. No, didn't get it around far enough. 1 point only. So Norwood yet to find the goals in the quarter. 8 minutes in. 10 goals 11 now. The Bays 13-7.
Very skillful little player, David Payne. Really makes a mistake once he gains possession of the ball. Neither does this bloke kicking out. Always finds a player, Ross Gibbs.
He's found Chris Duthie on the half-back line on the outer side. Tony Hall provides some run. She's getting there very quickly. Hall will have to get rid of it. I think it's gone right off the side of the boot. And Miles out of bounds on the full.
Great effort
will go to Gallagher.
Great effort by Michael Aish. Very reminiscent of Des Herbert's chase yesterday.
Ran down Greg Whittleson.
Yep.
So Philip Gallagher from wide out on the wing. A couple of Norwood players in that pack couldn't do much about it. Seabohm, desperate handball away. Henwood to pick it up. He gets a handball forward too. Only at the feet of Wayne Stringer though. Desperate dive on the ball by Salisbury. McIntosh appealing for holding the man.
He was holding him, but the whistle had gone.
Umpire can hear the bounce. Mike Lanny against Henwood. Mike Lanny, nice little give back towards McIntosh.
With a hand
there goes that bullet like hand pass. Payne, clear, lines up the goals, and he's not having a good day as far as goal kicking is going. He's kicked 3 points so far, I think I make that.
Yes.
And that's just a pity because his game so far has been dynamic.
He really is an immaculate kick of the ball. It's not working out. He's shooting for goal at all. Look at that kick by Ross Gibbs finding David Marshall with it.
Marshall brings it through the centre to Simons. Simons had a look, decided to come down to Stephen Kernahan. Good spoil by Warhurst from round the body. Warhurst still in front. Oh, Michael Taylor savagely impeded.
Keith Thomas it was.
Keith Thomas all the way, and he's quick to play it on because he's got Hine in the middle. Michael Taylor now the run. He's out looking for Payne again, maybe, but Ross Gibbs, he's a solid defender in that back line, and he'll turn it for the Bays.
Always finds a man with the ball. Look at that.
It's McDermott in the centre of the ground for Glenelg. Long kick, direct for goal. Copping setting himself. Hilliard couldn't get there. Kerry says, settle it down, Stephen, and have a shot for goal. And that's 6 marks he's taken.
Yeah, there should be a switch on there. Rowan Hellier's not handling him at all well.
So Stephen Copping will line up for goal number 5, and this will be kick number 12. It'll give Glenelg a chance to sneak away. If anything, that breeze has strengthened the fraction during the half-time break. Glenelg are going with it. It's 5 goals to Stephen Copping, and Glenelg are now 14 goals 7. Norwood are 10-12.
He was just that split second away from him, Rowan Hellier then. It gave Stephen Copping a chance to stand his ground and take a strong mark, which he always does. He's a great overhead exponent of the mark, Stephen Copping, and that was a great effort. A long kick, actually a magnificent kick by David Marshall, which found Stephen Copping just a brief second away, or half second away from Rowan Hellier's outstretched arms. Mark with a goal, Stephen Copping's 5th.
11 minutes into the quarter, and a 19-point break for the Bays now. Henwood against Hine. Ross chasing the ball now, or took it well, but well tackled by Marshall. Now the Bays with it. Maynard on to Marshall. Marshall kicked round the body for Copping this time. Ground level business for him with Heliar on him. He's beaten him again. Oh, he's dropped it. Time to recover. Come back towards Marshall. Has a look. Onto the boot. 1 point only. And Glenelg are now 14-8.
Very unlike Stephen Copping. Once he gets those vice-like hands around the ball, he usually retains possession. In that instance, it just got away from him. They still made a point out of it, Glenelg, so it was fair to middling.
Craig Balme to Keith Thomas. Thomas to Lester Ross. The kick didn't quite reach him. He's trying to find some support and can't, as McDermott gives it straight back to Lester Ross. Ross's handball goes out wider. Taylor over centre wing. Long kick. Up goes Michael Annie. And the mark is not going to be paid.
Yes, it is.
Throw-in is, I think.
It's a mark.
Yeah, the mark was
the
paid.
Michael Annie should be too. And he got a fair grip of that ball. Seabohm a bit late. Couldn't quite affect the spoil.
Michael Annie's just forward of the wing position. He comes in towards centre half forward. Henwood in the front spot. It was spoiled away from him. Salisbury has got someone else underneath the pack there. It's Neagle.
Bounced down on the half forward line for Norwood. Played just on 13 minutes and they haven't found a 6-point kick yet. Chance for Gallagher out wide. Salisbury gets on him very quickly. Gallagher's kick's a hurried one towards Greg Thomas.
Well done.
Sold the dummy beautifully. Created some space. And that kick, well, I think the crowd says it all. Off the side of the boot and out of bounds on the fall.
Well, the crowd certainly let us know what the result was. It's hard to tell from here when the ball floats out of bounds at the far side of the ground, but the roar from the crowd said it all.
Ross Gibbs from the pocket then. With the kick in.
Been pinch 15.
So David Payne is forced to move back that 15-metre penalty. Gibbs goes to the outer side with a strong kick. Front position, Warhurst that time, he couldn't take it. Oh, the handball out didn't quite work, but now Marshall works it clear. McDermott, Kernahan, on towards Stringer. Stringer's got a chance through half forward, pops it back towards that centre half forward position where Carey is there. Got a shove, not paid. Now there's pressure on Bruce Winter. Bounce doesn't favour him. Underneath it all, Keith Thomas, Hine, backwards but safe to Taylor.
What a game he's playing, Taylor.
Taylor short and finds Phil Gallagher with, I think, about his 21st kick of the game. 22nd, that's amazing, isn't it? As we've played only 40 minutes of the third term.
Andrew Ace's first kick, I'd say.
So Andrew Ace from the centre wing position, the legs into attack again. O'Dwyer on the lead. Couldn't quite take it, turned well though, got the handball. No, he didn't after all that. Surrounded by players. Maynard got a kick clear. And the throw in, half forward line, and Norwood in attack.
Yeah, Scott Salisbury actually, Keith, looked like Peter Maynard, but it was Scott Salisbury playing on a half-back flank.
Norwood need a goal as Michael Annie gets the tap, not so effective. Lester Ross was in and out without the ball. McGuinness goes in hard, that's Salisbury. Tapped on further towards Marshall. This little kick goes forward, it'll be picked up by McIntosh. He's caught, and holding the ball. And a great tackle. It was Alan Stringer, and they're having a good duel in the centre at the moment. They both played pretty rough and tough. He's off.
Stringer with the handball on to Henwood. Henwood, long kick into the half-forward position. Stephen Kernahan from behind Warhurst, spoil away. Keith Thomas on the man. Just got rid of it very quickly when he felt the pressure coming, and so Keith Thomas from behind centre for Norwood.
Player loose on the outer side. It's Michael Taylor making ground out there. He's on centre wing. Move's been made towards the pocket area on that half line. And Michael Annie sticks up one hand, juggles it.
The umpire's trying to say it's out of bounds, but the umpire's paid the mark. The field umpire, that is. The boundary umpire's going to get his way.
No, the two umpires will confirm here, and
out of bounds.
The ball will go back. Michael Annie disappointed, hands on hips, and we'll see the throw in on that half forward line. It was a juggled mark, and the boundary umpire was right on the spot.
He must have been of the opinion he took it over the line in his attempts to retain possession.
Michael Annie will contest against Henwood. Henwood belted it down the throat of McGuinness, too fast for him. Neagle out quickly to, is it Keith Thomas? Oh, he can't get hold of it, now he does. Aish, well Andrew Aish turns it around, has a look, well done to go back. Jim Michael Annie now with a bit of pressure on him. He scooted it towards Lester Ross. Now McIntosh goes through and he's on his way. McIntosh onto the left boot. He'll have a go right in towards the square.
Oh, David Payne
Michael
could have gone for that.
Thought Michael H was going to take it, and he did. Oh, over the top of Michael H. David Payne picks it up from an impossible angle.
That's the point.
Oh.
Gee whiz. It was floating towards the big sticks, but all of a sudden, it was only a point.
There's 3 points in this quarter to David
Yeah, he
Payne.
couldn't kick that one. It's a miraculous kick for goal. To even have a shot was a good effort. But you're right, 3 points is not match-winning football from the diminutive half-forward flanker.
This time, the kick comes in from Tony Hall, looking for Stephen Kernahan. Extremely high, couldn't get the second grab. Play on the call. Salisbury at the bottom of the pack. Winters in there for Norwood. Carey, McIntosh. It's forceful. Away they go through Maynard. Through the centre of the ground he goes. The lead's on from Stephen Copping. Beautifully put. And a fine mark. McGuinness keeps going with a strong run to the pocket area. But Copping is going to ignore that and look for who? Adam Garton. Wildly up from Craig Barney. Mr. Barney back there sweeping. Adam Garton will have another shot for goal, and he's having a great game up there at full forward.
Is he ever?
He's kicked 1 goal each quarter so far, and this will be lining up for goal number 4 with kick number 7.
This is kick goal number 5, actually, if he gets this. If he gets it.
So Adam Garton from centre half forward. The long kick, the umpire has to look, and the Bays are now 15 goals 8. They've kicked 4 goals in the quarter. Norwood yet to score, and we're in the 18th minute.
Adam Garton really firing up at full forward. That particular time, I thought that Craig Barn probably lost contact with the game. He really thought Tony McGuinness running free of the play would have been the recipient of Stephen Copping's next kick. And in the meantime, his own opponent, his direct opponent, Adam Garton, made the lead, took the mark and kicked the goal for his 5th for the match, and Glenelg's 15th. Getting away from Norwood this quarter.
Back in the centre of the ground, Neil Button into ruck for Norwood. He's going to do battle against Peter Carey, the 2 heavyweight ruckmen. Button, a nice tap towards Michael Aish. His kick out towards the vacant spaces. It's going to be picked up easily by Wayne Stringer. David Payne's got him. He dropped the ball. Play on is the call. Rick Meagle, an opportunist. He gets his kick away right to the square. Duthie gets back on it. He's got plenty of support, but he's going to let it trickle over the line. And we'll see a throw in that right forward pocket.
Wow.
Need goals.
Very ordinary kick by Rick Nagle. Has had a very a little say in the game today, quite frankly, from his half-forward flank, and he had a chance then to do something of quality, but wasn't able to finish his work off.
Can the Redlegs take something out of here? Comes out the back, and Neagle's got another look at it. Oh, he has to shrug that tackle and go down. McIntosh picks it up onto the left boot. 1 more point. Well, we've played 19 minutes, and Norwood have yet to score a major in this 3rd quarter.
And Macca usually kicks those. He has his quick look at the goals and nails it, usually, but once again he was off. Well, not once again, he was offline this time, and Norwood once again were offline, all told.
It's 5 behinds that Norwood have kicked in this quarter. Oh, Stringer, another big fly, and he's... well, the free kick's going to be paid to Glenelg. It must be Carey on the bottom of that pack, in the middle of it, that will pick up the free.
Umpire Kinnear maintained Neil Button was in Carey's back. One would have thought...
Alan Stringer would have knocked the players down like a pack of cards, Graham.
Yeah, right. Alan Stringer broke the pack open with a magnificent fly.
With Peter Carey's 15 metres.
He kicked a big torpedo here. No, he won't. He's going to drop punt again.
Down towards that half-forward flank position, Tom Warhurst.
And Warhurst from the half-back line will go short to McIntosh. Gary McIntosh has got a lot of movement up forward at the moment. His 11th kick, it's a floating one. Actually hit Maynard on the back. He turned his back to the play. Michael Ace battles for it. That's Salisbury. He's well tackled by Nagle. Salisbury still with it. Underlocked the ball by Payne. And umpire Kinnear decides to bounce up.
Just behind the play and not feeling well at all.
Payne and Stringer having a few words to say, and they've been reliving a few old memories there.
Plenty of pushing and shoving as umpire Kinnear bounces. Carey onto the boot, only to find Jarvis.
Played a fair game today, Andrew Jarvis, just quietly.
Jarvis with kick number 7. It went higher than what it did long. Pack flies and it's off hands, and we'll see the throw in by the interchange gates here on the grandstand side.
Norwood getting a bit desperate. They've got players all around this ball. A big pack formed. Button, front spot. Michael Aish quickly onto the boot, into the open spaces where it's all the Bays again. Tony Hall first to it. Can't keep it in.
Must be a trip.
Throw in is called.
So a throw in on the half-forward line. Norwood still yet to get their first goal this quarter. Carey from behind takes it with one hand. The handball goes back towards Gibbs.
Good smother.
Beautifully smothered. Now a chance for Greg Thomas. The handball, long stretch by Hall. He's ducked, but Dermott gets it on to David Kernahan, and the Bays are out of trouble. A one-on-one duel here.
Rowan
Lost McGuinness, but out comes Helyard, just to perfection, but he's down. McGuinness has got him. Well done, Tony McGuinness. The free kick eventually goes his way for in the back.
Well, that's the sort of single-handed stuff that will turn a game, and the Bays are in front, and Norwood had a chance to burst forward then. McGuinness did the impossible and stopped Helyard.
He really did. Great effort, that.
So McGuinness gets a chance instead to put the Bays right into the square. That's where it goes. Big pack over the top of it, out of bounds.
And if Stephen Kernahan could have marked that long torpedo punt from Tony McGuinness, it would have wrecked Norwood, I think, just the way the flow of the game was going. Because Rowan Helyard had it all in front of him. If he could have broken through with Tony McGuinness then and come running down the outer side.
22 minutes gone. Button, Taylor, he's tackled.
Umpire's over.
Andrew Jarvis got through to it. Andrew Ace provided a good shepherd there as Gallagher gets a hurried kick forward. Out towards that centre wing on the outer side. A chance for Michael Annie. Seabohm overran the ball. The kick comes forward. Greg Thomas a long way down the ground.
Good work from Ace, and so it's Greg Thomas now who's got players loose at last. O'Dwyer on the lead. Duthie behind him. Up 7.5. Payne trying to grab it. High tackle, not paid. Now out towards Neagle. Neagle
Great work.
Payne, he'll run all the way. No, he won't. He'll put it over the top to Keith Thomas. He doesn't miss him. So Norwood, it took them 23 minutes to get the goal in the third quarter and stop the rot. It takes them within 20 points of the Bays.
I'd hazard a guess there and say that David Payne didn't want to shoot for goal after all the points he's kicked this quarter, and he found the eager arms of Keith Thomas waiting for the hand pass over the top to finish off the work of players upfield. Rick Nagle had a hand on that one, keeping the ball in play. Des O'Dwyer gave the contest, and an avalanche of Norwood players finally finished up with their first goal for the quarter. As Keith said, 22 minutes to score their first, which has been a tough 22 minutes for Norwood, and they've let the Bays get away from them, but the game is far from over, of course, with 3 goals separating the sides.
It's an 18-point break at the moment. Carey and Button. Button won the tap. Chance for Nagle. He couldn't get the bounce that he wanted, and stringer forwards the ball. Warhurst with his knee, in fact. Now goes Maynard. And Maynard will have the free as Michael Aish also got one a little high there as well.
He's had a few free kicks today, Peter Maynard. I'd hazard a guess.
He's away.
Forward
looking for Garton or Kernahan. Neither of them could take it. Helyard taps it nicely towards Gallagher. Concedes 30 metres, but to the safe hands of Bruce Winter.
He goes
to the line, and he couldn't find it before Marshall did.
Should have gone to Peter Maynard.
Maynard loose in the centre of the ground. He's having trouble confusing Michael Aish. Finally kicks now over the head of Tony Simons, but Simons will get the handball further afield. Copping. He switches this way and that, and then just jams it onto the boot. Jarvis almost the mark. Picked up, snapped by Tony Simons over the shoulder, and that has stripped the centre. The goal to Tony Simons, his second for the game. He kicked one in the first quarter, and Glenelg now 16 goals, 8. They're 104. Norwood 11, 14, 80.
And I dare say that was the goal that Glenelg were looking for from Tony Simons. He's been shifted to a half-forward flank this quarter. He's been playing on the wing with some authority, but he's been shifted to a flank to let David Marshall take hold of the outer wing. And he's had trouble getting into the game, Tony, from the half-forward line. But that's his first real say in the play from there, and it's a nice goal, kicked over his shoulder. Magnificent effort that by Tony Simons. He loves those goals, those type of goals.
Just into time on in the third quarter. It's been a big one for the Bays as Gallagher now chases at this one. He rides that bump successfully and gets the free kick.
So it'll be Phil Gallagher from the middle of the ground. Looks towards Keith Thomas, and Thomas runs inboard. Plenty of time to have a look. Up goes O'Dwyer, one, two hands, couldn't get the third grab. David Kernahan goes to ground. Seabohm runs into a brick wall in Michael Annie, and out wide, it's 3-on-1, picked up by Keith Thomas. He's got Michael Aish short,
Greg Thomas.
and even shorter, Greg Thomas.
Couldn't kick it from there.
So Thomas, the angle acute, he wants to palm it off somewhere. He's got Andrew Aish at the moment unattended. Eventually it'll go to Keith Thomas. Well, that's a little closer, but well, I suppose the angle's a bit better.
You can see once again, though, Rick, that theory of getting the ball square out of the goals before they actually shoot. Norwood adhere to that every Saturday, and that's a little better off. Not where they like to shoot from, though.
So it'll be Thomas with kick number 12, and an important one for Norwood. 1 goal so far this quarter, and we're just about into time on. That kick across the face and through for a behind. Norwood have got 11 goals, 15. Glenelg are 16-8.
Very unlike Norwood, this untidy shooting for goal. They always seem to get more goals than behinds, but this week they haven't. Well, they haven't so far.
1 goal 6 in this quarter, and it could be expensive. The vital third quarter in a preliminary final, qualifying final, I should say, as Marshall takes it in the middle.
He's lifted this quarter.
McGuinness now running through the wing position. He's got Stephen Kernahan ahead of him. He's only got to pop it over the top to him. It's gone a little deeper than that for Copping. Pack forms. Helliar couldn't grab it. It's Copping now with it. His hand pass upset. McDermott tried to run it through. Lucky not to get holding the ball.
Woo! Had the leg.
Michael Murphy with the free kick, and it's a nice place to get them. Up in attack and well within range of scoring. That breeze, if anything, would be favouring Michael Murphy here.
And he's been a forward most of his football life. He's been playing backline since he made the league team this year. But he's played a lot of forward work, Michael, so kicking goals is not unusual to him.
Spent some time on the bench in the first half, and that kick has just about shattered the post. A point to the Bays. They're 16-9, Norwood are 11-15.
Yes, looked like a goal, but that really annoys you, that when the sides hit the post. For the supporters of that team, I mean.
Craig Balme to the outer side with one of his long raking kicks towards Keith Thomas, but a good take over the top. Maynard is playing.
Was there. Kick goes forward from Maynard. Up goes Craig Balme. He's trying to claim the mark. It's not there. Chance for Tony Simons off hands. He taps it in front of him. Warhurst jumps in. Carey comes through. I don't know if that was a throw or not, but play on is the call. A chance for Alan Stringer. McIntosh right with him. His direct opponent. McDermott goes in hard. And finally, umpire Phil decides that he's going to bounce the ball.
Yes, Chris McDermott hasn't had a big say in the game today. There's a rumour going around he had a bad ankle, and I think it might be spot on that, because he hasn't been able to have his usual influence on the match. 7 kicks and 4 hand passes in 3/4 of football. It's not Chris McDermott's usual effect on a game.
Alan Stringer's copped one high. Keith Thomas also, I think, felt the effect of that crunch as well.
So the tempo of the game just coming down a bit as we head into time on, well into time on, almost 4 minutes of it played now. Stringer taking plenty of time as he goes back, turns to have a look from about 50 metres out.
Another guy who's played most of his football on the forward line, so kicking goals is not strange to Alan Stringer.
It's a 4-goal break at the moment, and Stringer could make it 5. Kicks just drifting away. The umpire signals the point only. Glenelg 16-10 now, Norwood 11-15.
A couple of misses, the last couple by Glenelg have probably given Norwood a bit of breathing space. Another goal would have been very detrimental to their chances of winning the game.
Craig Balme, another strong kick-off. McIntosh, the crumbs. The handball goes back towards Andrew Jarvis. Jarvis, the left foot. Typical one. Greg Thomas, a lot of talking there. It's allowed Glenelg to clear. This is Stringer.
Wayne Stringer brings it back in towards Simons, who takes the mark. That's the end of the road for the third quarter here in the qualifying final, and it was the Bays all the way that time. They go into the last break, 16-10, Norwood 11-15. Tony Simons has a go, and there's no harm in that, I suppose.
Yes, must have a go.
We'll leave the scores as they were. 25 points the margin in favour of Glenelg at 3/4 time. Start of the final quarter of the qualifying final. Norwood versus the Bays, and Glenelg go into the last with a 25-point break. Hine against Henwood. Henwood wins the tap. Warhurst waits for it. The ball into a heap. So the first bounce of this last quarter.
The umpire Jim Field with the bounce. Still good conditions. That cool change hasn't quite got here yet. The breeze, though, if anything, just favouring Norwood. McIntosh with possession in the centre. Trying to get the handball towards Ross. It was at his feet. Chance for Maynard. He can't take it. McGuinness will swoop on this one. It's the handball back towards Wayne Stringer. It's away from McIntosh and gets his kick high. It's towards centre half forward. Up goes Kernahan. The mark's going to be paid.
Well, how did he get that? He was the last man on the scene and still pulled it in.
I said it was Craig Balme sitting first up, but that's 10 marks to Kernahan, and that'll go right to the square. Garton's got front spot. Spored away. The snap couldn't work, and Motlop couldn't take possession, and it's rushed through for a behind. Glenelg got 16-11. Norwood 11-15.
Bit unlucky the Bays there. Motlop had a chance, just didn't sit right for him. and he put it onto his foot, or he fell on his foot and went through from behind.
Craig Balme with the kick out. He's looking for Neil Hine. Oh, well trapped over the ball, Henwood. Stringer picks it up onto the left boot. It's a wild kick, but Simons finds it. Tony Simons had to make a lot of ground. Now he goes short into the pocket. Copping. Oh, he's dropped the sitter. And it's out of bounds.
Remember I said earlier in the piece, Keith, he doesn't like those ones. They're liable to bounce off his chest. It finally happened.
Bounced off his head, didn't it?
Hey?
Bounced off his head, I think, the second
it's the
grab.
first one he's missed, though, on those running, falling marks. He's played a marvellous game, Stephen Copping. Still got Hellier on him, I notice, though. You've got great faith in Rowan Hellier, obviously.
The kicks comes grandstand side. Gallagher and Marshall.
Might be a free kick.
And Phil Gallagher will get the free kick. Marshall infringing for Glenelg. So Gallagher on the half back line for Norwood. They need a big job ahead of them in this final quarter.
He doesn't know where to go, Gallagher here. He doesn't want to go to up the ground.
17 kicks. Was looking for Mike Lanny. It fell short. It's been marked by Wayne Stringer.
Wayne Stringer from just forward of the centre wing position. Turns it around in towards centre half forward. Hine from the back punches away. Waiting for it, Jenkins. Quickly onto Aish.
Payne by himself.
It's where it goes towards Payne over centre. Norwood into attack now. Oh, just a wait and turn. Let the players build. Now a chance to bounce on towards Michael Aish. Michael Aish left footer right in towards the square. Just a little wide though, and Duthie, the mark, will he be paid? Second grab? No mark. 1 point.
Yes, it was painfully obvious it was over the line by the time it got carried. Well, Chris Duthie carried it through.
Duthie elects to go towards the outer side. It's 2-on-2 out there, and David Kernahan the mark. He copped a heavy bump early in this game and sat on the bench for a few moments.
He's too tall for Danny Jenkins, I'll tell you, in the marking contest.
Simons, the player free in the centre, is Scott Salisbury. He's got Stringer out wide as Salisbury crabs across the ground. It's a floating, wobbling old kick, and Alan Stringer will take the mark.
It was hardly a pass, was it?
Stringer forward, looking for Copping. It's wide for him again, just keeps it in play. Got some good shepherding from Salisbury and puts it right in towards the square now. Kernahan can't take it. Taylor just inside, keeps it in play beautifully. Winter to Hine. Hine out wide. Nobody there for Norwood. Can Stringer keep it in play? Not quite.
So we'll see a throw in on this grandstand side, and Norwood need a big final quarter if they're to go through to the second semi, and it appears as though Glenelg will make a change in a moment. McDermott warming up. Henwood against Michael Annie. Marshall the crumbs. Marshall with a left foot kick up towards Stephen Kernahan. Front spot, off hands Maynard. Jams it onto the boot. Floats up towards the edge of the square. Up they go. Front spot. Back to the mark to Payne. It's going to be. The Norwood player Bruce Winter might have had the first touch of that in front position. Not the way the umpire has read it. Salisbury has come off. He'll go to the bench.
It's what you call a pack mark, though, Rick. They always allow those, and I agree. All the hands are up. Whoever comes down with the ball invariably should be paid the mark.
So Adam Garton lining up with his 8th kick, and he's made it 6 goals. Good effort at full forward today. Glenelg get away again. 17 goals 11, Norwood 11-16.
And one of the biggest single reasons Glenelg are in front and enjoying a good leader is the work of Adam Garton at full forward today. His style of play has completely frustrated Craig Balme. He's a big strong ox, as we say in the classics, and he stands his ground well on the pack, Adam Garton, and takes a big mark. But more than that, he's finished it off with pinpoint kicking for goal. 6-1 from 7 shots is the work of what you might call a top line full forward. He's had 14 kicks in his position full forward. He had a big day.
5 minutes into the last quarter, and the break now 31 points in the Bay's favour. Norwood with the breeze though. They need to get some on the board, and quickly. McIntosh couldn't take it. McGuinness over the ball. Free kick meanwhile found in the pack. Henwood.
It's Wayne Henwood from the centre of the ground. He's got Copping and Garton both led. And Wayne Henwood booms a long one. A big pack of players. Neil Hine with the height. Mark got paid. Motlop off hands. He's got a player loose in the square if they can ever get it there. This is McGuinness. He spins out of trouble and comes out wide towards Tony Simons. The bounce will favour him beautifully.
He'll have a shot.
Garton's in the square if he wants him. Simons goes inboard. Creates some space. Oh, and the handball towards Maynard. He made hard work of it. Snaps across the face of goal, and it's through for a point. Glenelg 17-12 they are now. That's 114. Norwood, a big job ahead, 11-16-82.
You can see Tony Simons trying to make space for a shot for goal, which he likes to do from those angles, but the Norwood players weren't having any of that. They were holding their ground pretty well to make him feed the ball off to Peter Maynard, who missed.
close to the biggest lead of the game now. The Bay's got away to a 36-point break early in the first quarter. Norwood have been right back with them since, but now 32 points the difference, and Norwood have got to get moving as Henwood booms it in towards Kernahan. Stephen Kernahan with his 11th mark. Turn and face the goals from the centre-half forward position. He's a good 50 metres out.
He's due to kick one, Keith.
Stephen Kernahan...
1 goal, 3 for mine so far.
Yeah, finding a bit of difficulty, but the set shot from here is the stuff that centre-half forwards are made of, so he could make this game fairly safe for the Bays. If they get 6 goals clear, it'll be pretty tough on the legs, and that's exactly what's going to happen. The Bays 18-12, Norwood 11-16.
And that's the sort of kick Stephen Kernahan was renowned for. He took that mark 50 metres out, directly in front, and unerringly pinpointed the ball right through the big sticks. Good goal, Stephen Kernahan. He's second for the game. He's had a good tussle with Tom Warhurst today. Would be fractionally in front, I would say. Warhurst has done a good job. Stayed with him, knocked the ball away whenever he could, which is the only way to play the big fella. And it's been a good deal by these two fine footballers.
It's a 38-point break to Glenelg as we have played 7 minutes of the final quarter. Hine got a nice tap. The kick forward, a short one by Thomas. Stringer repels that one. That's Wayne Stringer. Chance for McGuinness and Simon. Simons provides the shepherd. McGuinness the pickup. Had to get rid of it. This is Gallagher. Gets away. He shrugs that tackle from McGuinness. Oh, he missed Neil Hine. Wayne Henwood over the top to Maynard. Maynard's kick is long, right to the square. Garton's got... Well, that ball is floating in. Garton put it beautifully. Had 2 to beat. That's 5 marks he's taken, so Glenelg up forward have had some advantage in the air with Kernahan taking 11. Carey's chipped in for a few, and Garton's taken 5 marks as well.
Not to forget Copping. He's been
and Copping, and he's lining up, would you believe, for goal number 7. And I probably would say that's probably the easiest one he's had, and he's missed it.
And I would hazard a guess and say that goal would have really buried Norwood, because to get back something like 7 goals in the last quarter of a qualifying final match wouldn't be all that easy to do. They are just now almost out of the match, but they can just get back in with a couple of good goals, I guess.
Balme looking for Hine, couldn't quite find him with the tap away. McIntosh to Thomas. Keith Thomas turns well out of the pack. Norwood into attack. Michael Annie behind there, did it well. He turns in quickly looking for O'Dwyer. Duthie behind him, tap away from him. Gibbs under pressure. McDermott into help, and the ball trapped in the forward pocket.
That was an amazing move, actually. Chris McDermott came off at 3/4 time, then came back on the ground something like 2 minutes in, Keith, to this quarter, which was a strange one. Now he's playing in the forward line, it would appear.
Umpire can hear the bounce. Michael Annie against Seabone, the 2 number 31s. There's a snap from Andrew Aish. Tony Hall got a hand to it. It's cleared away by John Seabone. Thomas and Maynard. Keith Thomas, the mark, front spot. He's a long way out from goal. I doubt if he would make the distance, even with the aid of this slight breeze.
He couldn't get it from there, Rick. But he won't be able to pass off either. The Glenelg boys are really manning up this time.
O'Dwyer running back into the square. It's a good job, though. It's gone a long way, and I think it's played a line of all of us. And that breeze might have a bit more in it than we're looking at, too. And it was a beautiful kick from Keith Thomas. He brings Norwood back with a chance. 12-16. Glenelg 18-13.
Shut my big mouth. Well, I've been saying all day, probably off camera more than anywhere else, that this breeze is stronger than we think it is. Now, that only goes to prove it must be. Sides have scored a will at that end of the ground, and Keith Thomas's goal, they must have travelled every part of 60 metres and split the centre. Great goal.
Back in the centre, it's Henwood against Hine. Henwood tapped it straight to McIntosh. Through comes Michael Taylor, gets his kick over the half-forward line, right to the pocket area. Spawned away by Duthie, and that's over the line. The throw-in will take place in that right-forward pocket. Norwood have got it where they want it.
And Glenelg have changed their ploy this quarter. They're roving Mark Motlop, leaving Chris McDermott just hovering around the middle of the ground on some occasions.
Henwood runs a long way down to contest this with Michael Annie. Bump away from Michael Taylor, didn't pay off. Motlop now, close to the line, on the full.
I think you'll find Chris McDermott playing in the centre. No, he's not. No, he's playing half-back flank, would you believe, on David Payne. It's a strange one. I thought he was just, you know, hovering around the middle of the ground to give support to players, but he's playing half-back flank just right now.
Gallagher, front spot. There's O'Dwyer off hands. There's that man again, Payne. Feeds it off towards Rick Neagle. And Neagle puts it through gets his first goal of the game. Comes at the 11-minute mark of the final quarter. And Norwood 13-16 to Glenelg 18-13.
Yeah, he's had a pretty unproductive day, Rick Neagle. He's had a tough time of it on the half-forward flank there, but the hand pass from David Payne set up the goal then. And David Payne has really been a vibrant half-forward today for Norwood. His kicking for goal has been askew, but he certainly has fed a few hand passes off and brought players into it. That was a classic example of how a player can help another guy pick up an easy goal. Good goal to Rick Neagle, set up by David Payne.
Coming up to the 12-minute mark of the last quarter of this qualifying final, and Norwood keep their hopes alive. They've brought back the lead to 27 points now. And now the Bays go forward. Oh, good trap though. Kernahan couldn't get rid of it. Now Gallagher's got a chance to get Norwood out of strife again. He does so. Keith Thomas forward. Michael Annie's got front spot. Good spoil away by Seabohm. Picked up by Stringer. Back to McDermott. McDermott puts the Bays into attack. Kernahan out free. Oh, centre half forward. Took it unopposed.
It's a great pass though, nobody could have stopped that one.
Kernahan just found himself loose, did the right thing, and now a bit of a wobbler that was, and no one near the ball as it came down. Bruce Winter. Oh, stolen by McGuinness. McGuinness works it forward. Pressure by Balme though. Balme will pick it up. Handball back. Oh, there's trouble for Keith Thomas. Gets the push in the back. It was a beautiful piece of work by Keith Thomas.
It almost had to happen, didn't it? The way he made it happen.
Thomas's kick out. It's got bodies here, and Bruce Winter goes in with the Angels' spear to tread and takes the mark.
Very difficult to keep going under those circumstances, I can tell you. He's holding his rib area.
He's on the half-back line. Kick number 9 for Bruce today. Looks for Michael Annie. Spoiled away by Seabohm. Off hands Wayne Henwood. That's been good push in the back from David Payne. And Wayne Henwood will get the 15. And well, he's been unlucky there, David Payne, to give away the 15. I thought Wayne Henwood was doing most of the talking.
So, Henwood, short stabbing pass. Carey upsets Winter. Jarvis comes belting through, has to sink it quickly onto the boot, can't quite reach it. McIntosh and Stringer. Stringer
got a free kick. He won't change his mind, Al, I'm sorry.
Stringer, I thought Stringer was in it.
He was. But there's no good arguing the point though, Keith, because they simply won't change their mind.
No, it'd go in the history books if he did.
Gary McIntosh with the kick. Continues the attack down the grandstand side. Michael Annie couldn't take that grab, and it's pushed over the line for the throw-in. We're on the half-forward line. Norwood are into attack. Henwood from the side. Got the tap, worked it towards Wayne Stringer. His left foot kick will clear centre wing. Carey and Kernahan. Front spot, Hine. Simon smashes it forward. Bruce Winter's back there. Winter, McIntosh. It's the ironic move.
Oh, great kick.
Jarvis sinks one a good 80 metres. That screw punt's gone. Off hands, David Payne's at the back of the pack. Will it sit for him? Gibbs bundles him off the ball. Pace for the chance, holding the ball. What's the umpire said? No. Umpire Kinnear says he was trying to handball that away, and he's going to bounce.
Oh, sure he was. There's no question about that. He tried to get on. As soon as he was grabbed, he tried to feed the ball off.
The bounce about 25, 30 metres out from the Norwood goal. Henwood tried to grab it, couldn't do so. So another bounce, same spot.
Good. Scott Salisbury's going to catch a cold if he stands waiting to come on any longer. He's been at the interchange gate for about 5 minutes.
I'm trying to work out what the change might be. It could be Chris McDermott coming off again. It's hard to say.
But Dermott got that handball forward.
Oh, what work from Gallagher that was there, and he got that one out of it. About 3 players.
Wrong place.
It's an expensive miss, and you might write that one down as the one that didn't work. The Bays will get a goal out of this the way they're running at the moment, and Norwood can say good night. They've got to save it now, but they can't.
Carey by himself. No, he's not going to him. Oh, he mucked it up.
Kicked him the man on the mark. It was Hallier. Adam Gart's got the opportunity though. He'll need support. There goes the handball to Stephen Kernahan. Walks into the goals. Puts it under the boot. Punches the air and says, we're home. Glenelg. They're 19-13. Norwood 13-16.
And this is a football, a remarkable turnabout game. All because of misdirected kick to Gary McIntosh on the forward line by Lester Ross, who lacked confidence in his own ability. Obviously, he could have gone to the square. He tried to get a short pass over to Gary McIntosh. He missed the mark, and the ball, the resultant sweep downfield by Glenelg, finished up in the hands of Adam Garton, who gave the hand pass across, and Stephen Kernahan plucked it to almost bury Norwood's chances of winning this match. There's something like 33 points up now, Glenelg. They'll take a superhuman effort now by Norwood to get back and win the points.
Back in the middle, Button on the ball now. Good bump by McIntosh. Gets his way around. Looks his own player away in the bargain. He'll get caught, and he's down. Whoa! Well, 9 times out of 10, that would have been a push in the back, but Henwood chased him and caught him.
Mac, I can't believe it.
I tell you what, for the Bay supporters, it was worth paying the money just to come and see that too. As Henwood's kick goes over centre, down goes Kernahan. The spoil away from behind by Jarvis. Maynard had to get rid of it. This is Tony Simons. Makes some space. Drives long. He's got Copping and Kernahan. They both fly together.
Paid to Copping, I'd say.
Going to be paid to
Carey.
Peter Carey. Marshall wants to go with it, but the ball will come back. And, well, a very good crowd in attendance today. Just over 25,000 for the qualifying final, and it would appear as though Norwood will meet West Adelaide in next week's first semi. The short kick. It's a Craig Balme.
I can't believe that.
Craig Balme, I can't believe his luck either. But have a look at this.
Yeah.
He's kicked it to Stringer. Now McIntosh goes to meet him. Oh, Steve. Oh, no.
Blown him over.
The Bay fans love it.
So with the 15 metres, Alan Stringer with kick number 14. Kernahan's going to fly. Oh,
Free kick,
ready for the open for Button. Kernahan's going to win the free kick, so nothing going right for Nord at the moment. Particularly as far as the free kicks are working out.
The trend of the game's gone against them, and they can't get up now. They just simply can't.
So it'll be Stephen Kernahan, the vice-captain, of course, of the Bays. Kicked 3 so far today, and 2 of those have come in this final quarter. Kick number 17, he's had a big day, and it's been a tower of strength in the air as well. It looks very good off the boot. You couldn't get much more plumb than that. Goal number 4 to Stephen Kernahan, 20 now to the Bays. They're 20-13, Norwood 13-16.
And that's Stephen Kernahan's 3rd goal this quarter, if you don't mind, into the breeze, or whatever breeze there is. And we seem to feel it's a relatively strong one. And he really has stamped his class on the game this last quarter. He's kicked straight, he's taken the marks, done everything right. He really is the superstar of this Glenelg team. When he's on fire, Glenelg can't lose. 20 goals, 13, Glenelg lead Norwood 13-16. They're on the way to repeating their 40-point victory over Norwood some 3 or 4 weeks ago here at Football Park.
And a big cheer for Peter Carey as he came off the ground. Button in ruck now, pushes it towards Jenkins, onto McIntosh. McIntosh goes short. Oh, that's the kind of stuff that will win the game, and they've got it won anyway. Salisbury tapped on by McDermott. Wayne Stringer, David Kernahan, time to run. Get some help. Oh, Henwood took out a Norwood player with a fair bump, and he won't get up for a while.
With the footy, it's Michael Taylor. He gets away from Motlop. The handball goes towards Ross. Aish, I think it's Andrew Aish, he might be down on the outer side. This is Michael Aish's kick towards half forward. Spoiled away by Duthie. Chance there for McDermott. Got it out towards Wayne Stringer. He's flattened too high, Michael Aish. And that free kick will be brought back. So we've got a Bay player down, and still Andrew Aish receiving attention on the outer side following a solid bump from Henwood.
I'm sure that Michael Aish wanted to equalise the attention his brother got over the far side, but he did it probably a little bit too open, and he's been penalised for it.
Meanwhile, Neagle off for Norwood, and Greg Thomas back on the ground.
With the free kick, it's going to be Ross Gibbs, in fact, to take it. He plays it on, and we appear to be in slow motion as Ross Gibbs runs all the way through centre wing with 3 or 4 bounces, goes short, finds out of goal.
Always finds a play with the ball, Ross Gibbs. I've said it all day.
I think Norwood eventually giving up the ghost at the moment as Garton sinks the boot in long. Kernahan's going to fly. He gets up. Balme got the fish to it. Now Gallagher.
Gallagher right in the pocket. Tries to find Balme with a hand pass. Balme will run through. Got one high, but Norwood in possession. Now pressure for Keith Thomas. Oh, he did that well. Meanwhile, Tony Hall's in front spot, though. Turns it round. And the pack forms just a metre in.
Wayne Stringer's coming off with his 199th game. Very groggy. Very groggy.
And he was the recipient of a high tackle from Michael Aish just a minute or 2 ago.
And I think he gave Murphy some instructions as well. But you probably guess what they were. Alan Stringer, he puts his head over the ball. McIntosh shrugs out of it. Now with Keith Thomas. Thomas will drive long. There's a little hike on in centre wing with the ball. It's Ross Gibbs. So frustration creeping into the game, and we're seeing a few little pieces of side play at the moment as Gibbs will take off again.
He's got plenty of fitness because that's the second run he's had in a matter of a couple of minutes. On to Duthie, who's come up from the back line. Simons forward towards Maynard. Maynard's got Simons out wide, but he decides to move it in. And a big mark right at the last by Hellier.
To Michael Aish. He gets pushed over as he gets rid of it. There's McIntosh. The usual boo from the crowd. He'll play it on quickly. Lester Ross is the running player. Short kick over the head of Greg Thomas, finds O'Dwyer. The hand of Keith Thomas. There's only David Payne up there, but it's 3-on-1. Gets it back now. This is Des O'Dwyer. He's tackled. Greg Thomas. Payne wants it in short, but Thomas will chance the leg.
He kicks those.
And that's a super kick off the boot.
Unbelievable.
Great goal, Greg Thomas. Norwood's 14. They're 14-16. Glenelg at 20 goals, 13.
Well, I've said it before. He kicks those remarkable goals, Greg Thomas, from impossible situations. He just puts foot to the ball and finds the space between the big sticks, but he's had a luxury role today, Greg Thomas. Hasn't roved at all. He's played permanent forward pocket, and he becomes a little more easier to contain if he just stays in one spot all day, and that's how it's been. Ross Gibbs has been his opponent more times than not today. I mean, Greg Thomas has had his visits to the interchange bench and so forth. When he's been on the ground, though, he's been permanent forward pocket for 2 goals.
4 goals to 3 in this last quarter, and Glenelg increased their 3-quarter time lead. They've got more than 5 goals up their sleeve at the moment, but Michael Ash will pick up a free kick in the middle. Put the Norwood side forward for Michael Annie. Scored away. Keith Thomas read it. Payne didn't find him first onto the boot, though, and he gets it over the top for 1 point.
Wow. Today he'd prefer to forget, I'd say, David Payne. He cannot kick a goal for love of money. Neil Balme hanging his head for him. 5 points he's kicked, which is unbelievable for that little fellow who has a lot of skill.
One more point makes it a goal, doesn't it, Graham?
Oh, yeah, but, you know, it's a hard way of getting a goal.
It's Michael Murphy with the ball in the back pocket for the Bays. Andrew Aish standing the mark. The kick towards centre wing. Alan Stringer flies. Button spalls away with a big smash. Goes back towards Andrew Aish. Nice turn. Jams that one onto the boot. It's a wobbly old kick that just drifts through for a behind. Norwood at 14-18. Glenelg at 20-13.
They can't buy a goal at the moment, Norwood. They simply can't. They're blazing away. Very uncharacteristic of this side, who normally bring the ball forward in 2s and 3s and shoot for goal only when they're in a good position. They've fallen away on that style of play today. It's something they'll probably pick up by next week.
3-3 in this last quarter. And it simply hasn't been good enough. Tony Simons out in that back pocket, goes down the outer side. It'll be a big pack. Henwood over the top. Wayne Henwood turns and has a look what he can see. Kernahan on the lead. Warhurst with him. Kernahan. Oh, spoiled by Warhurst well. Warhurst back towards Button. Button short kick to Taylor. Taylor's forced to wait up a bit. He's got Winter out on the other wing. He's come right down the ground from the back pocket.
Oh! Great ball by Salisbury. Allows Alan Stringer the run of the ball. McIntosh comes there late. Copping. Good lead. Good mark. Players are still screaming towards the pocket area, but Copping's going to slow it down.
I thought I saw a reportable incident just then.
Copping's kick towards the edge of the square. Garton front spot. Craig Balme too strong from behind as Andrew Aish comes off and Eagle on for Norwood.
I reckon Scott Salisbury took a very unfair blow to the head, clearing out of defence then.
Tell you what, though, if that was reportable, the umpires would never get their books down. Would never get them away, I should say. It was just the usual head high, unfortunately, Graham, I think, as opposed to a...
Well, it was a fist to the head as far as I was concerned, Keith.
Yeah, there's an awful lot of that in the game, and I'm certainly not advocating it either.
Is that allowable?
No, it's not. But most of the sides will be rubbed out by the end of the day if you played that one.
It's almost a dead heat. It's going to be paid to Des O'Dwyer. The running player is Michael Aish. He's got Greg Thomas on a lead. That kick will be marked by the taller player in David Kernahan. Tony Hall provides some run. He'll have to keep running if he's to get to that one. He does. Beautiful kick. Look at the pace of Greg Thomas. Hall box inside. Good play. Copping strong. Kick into Copping. He's got Motlop if he wants him as Garton, but Copping's going to go back and have a shot.
He'll give Stephen Kernahan a run at this ball, I'd say, and Adam Garton for that matter, because they both ruled the airwaves down there today. He's got him.
18th kick, and that's a pretty simple one to pick out Stephen Kernahan. Kernahan, as we've said, already 3 goals in this final term, and he'll pull up the socks and have a go at making it goal number 5. So it's been a fine effort today by Glenelg in the qualifying final. Thoroughly deserved the win. Norwood came back in the second quarter. Coach Neil Balme will have to regroup his players for the first semi-final next week against Glenelg, and Kernahan's kick is a shocker, out of bounds on the full.
Well, he's kicked 3 goals this quarter, Stephen Kernahan, and that'd be the worst kick he's executed all day. He probably tried to kick the ball too hard, the old saying, and floated out of bounds.
Craig Balme Jarvis on his own.
McIntosh the centre by himself.
That's where he'll go, right to McIntosh behind centre. McIntosh earns the obligatory boos from the crowd again. His 15th kick for the game. Puts Norwood into attack. Spoil away. It was Hall. Moved it on to McDermott. Bay's not out of trouble yet on this side. Michael Annie went down in a heap though. And so the bounce will take place out on the half-forward flank. So time well and truly run out for Norwood. They really didn't ever get into this final quarter. We played almost 2 minutes of time on. McGuinness. Gibbs giving him tons of run out the side here. Running through the middle. Oh, McGuinness making a yard in the last quarter. Takes it back off him. That's a tremendous run from Tony McGuinness at this stage of the game. Kernahan loose. Has another shot that's as wild as you like. Oh, choice of two. And Tony Simons is the winner. Stephen Copping had a good line on it, but Tony Simons came across the front of him and will line up with a chance. Not too many metres out, but not too much space showing either.
There was no way knowing that ball was going to get out of Tony Simons' grasp. I tell you, he saw it coming. Stephen Copping, wait for it, fella. That's what he said.
Here comes the banana ball.
You're joking.
It's going to work. The Bays are going to go in after this final with a very handsome lead on the board. They're 37 points up at this stage.
And as I said earlier, Keith, it looks like almost a blueprint of the game played here some 4 or 5 weeks ago that we did, where the Bays ran away in the last quarter, won by some 40 points. It's now stretched to 37. So it's as I said, it's a replica virtually of that game, and it just may well be that the Tigers have something on Norwood all of a sudden now. And even in Football Park, in the final series, they seem to have their measure.
3 minutes of time on played. Henwood against Button. Lester Ross reads it. Has to get rid of it quickly. Keith Thomas tries. He falls in the bottom of the pack. And there'll be another bounce, I think, or perhaps Thomas will pick up the free kick. That's the way it goes. Keith Thomas. Warhurst. He puts it in towards that half-forward area for Norwood. Michael Annie the fly. He was upset and Gibbs went backwards. I got a feeling he thought he was in the forward line like he was a few weeks ago. Michael Aish falls over. Tony Hall puts the pressure on him. Oh, geez, she's taken out the shirt fronter.
Yeah,
that's not allowed.
Paid the head. He did cop one in the head.
So Michael Aish from that nasty pocket position, almost impossible to kick goals from there. I suppose if we could just hang it up, the breeze would help him in.
He'll have a go. Come around the bend a bit.
That's what he's done, and it's gone awfully close. Well, that's a fine goal from Michael Aish late in the game. But to no avail, because still 31 points the difference.
Yeah, it's a belated goal, Keith, but it just makes the scoreboard look a little more tidier, I guess, from Norwood supporters' point of view. But it just shows the immaculate skills of Michael Aish, really. Caught on an acute angle. He just came around that little bit to give him more space to look at the goals and popped through, as he has done many times before. He's a marvellous player, Michael Aish. Had a brilliant first half, fell away a little the third quarter, and has bobbed along during the last quarter when Norwood's task has been rather formidable right from the word go.
Well, quite a lot of the 25,000 people who are here have decided to take an early minute. Nothing left in this game, unfortunately, for the Redlegs. Now Motlop with a chance to get it moving. Keith Thomas comes out with it instead, though. Neil Button. Button with a big kick forward. Pack has to move backwards. Payne with a chance. He's descended upon O'Dwyer. Out towards Greg Thomas. He's caught. Aish is out there available. He moves around onto the left boot. This will look good, I think. Ooh, shaved the post, wrong side. 1 point only to Norwood. They're 15-19 now. Glenelg 21-13.
Keith, I get the impression David Payne doesn't want to shoot for goal now. He's had such an abominable day shooting for the big sticks that he's decided now to handball every time he gets the ball. It's not the way to go. He's got to get his confidence back, and if he gets a chance to shoot, he should.
Gibbs to David Kernahan. Kernahan down the outer side towards that wing position.
Free kick.
Front spot was there. So Murphy will turn. The Bays will go into attack. Across the ground, short to Marshall. Marshall just looking for the leads. Tony Simons gives it. An easy win to the Bays to take them further into these finals. The qualifying final result here at Football Park. The Bays 21-13, 139 points. An easy win over the Redlegs, 15-19, 109.
Yes, one of the outstanding finals in South Australian football, and certainly deserving more than the 25,000 people who turned up. Surely the crowds must increase over the next 3 weeks. Well, the quarter-by-quarter scores show that Glenelg led at every change, although by only 4 points at half-time after Norwood's best quarter of the match. The Tigers kicked 5 goals to 1 in the third quarter and 5 goals to 4 in the final term to win by 30 points. Goal kickers for Glenelg: Garton kicked 6, Copping 5, Stephen Kernahan 4 and Simons 3, the best Copping, Kernahan, Maynard, Garton, McGuinness and Henwood. And for Norwood, O'Dwyer kicked 3 goals and 2 each to Michael Aish, Greg Thomas, Keith Thomas and Taylor, and the best players Keith Thomas, Taylor, Gallagher, Aish, McIntosh and Winter. The reserves qualifying final, which was the curtain raiser to the big match at Football Park this afternoon, and Woodville had a 34-point win over Port Adelaide. Woodville 18 goals 12, Port 13 goals 8, and Woodville meet Norwood in the second semi-final. Port play Torrens in the first semi-final on the Saturday. Next week's league matches: on Saturday we have the first semi, Western Norwood, and then on Sunday the second semi, where North play Glenelg. Well, once again, Daryl Hicks is with us in the studio. Daryl, I really must hand it to you. If I recall correctly, last Friday you selected Glenelg, on Saturday you selected Norwood, and at half-time today you went back to Glenelg.
Well, that just shows you how tight the final series are, and I think any of the remaining 4 sides can win the premiership. But I think I was anxious about Adam Garton playing at full forward in place of Thompson.
What, you were concerned about that, were you?
I was, but by half-time he had proved to be the best game I've seen him play. Perhaps he came of age today, and Coach Cornes will be thrilled.
Overall, a great game of football, and really the standard was so much better than yesterday.
Of course, there wasn't the knockout issue, and those skills showed out. But to me, either team could have won today. Norwood had the same number of scoring shots as Glenelg. They simply lacked that little bit of finish and polish, which is normally part of their game.
I mentioned the attendance there, 25,000. I guess the league officials would be a little bit disappointed with that. They would have been expecting around about 30, but nonetheless a great atmosphere at Football Park.
Well, as a commentator, it was easy to commentate, wasn't it? It was such a spectacle, and the fire was on from the first moments. Perhaps the weather was too good and too many other things for people to do.
OK, well, it really was a big day for Graham Cornes. Last year as coach of South, of course, he was eliminated in the elimination final. Today, though, he was a winner, and he's speaking here with Roger Wills.
Graham, it looked to be a pretty complete performance by the Tigers.
Oh, it was a good effort. You go into finals games sometimes with apprehension, but I thought our build-up was very good. You know, I was really confident in the team that we'd picked, and although you play against a side like Norwood, which are a good side, so I can only be happy with the way they committed themselves on the ground and the eventual result. It was really good for us.
And they soaked up a lot of pressure in that second term.
Well, you know, we started so well, and I guess you'd be naive to think that you're going to just keep kicking goals and the opposition won't. And Norwood played some really good footy in the last half of the first quarter and the second quarter. So yeah, that's exactly the term we used, that they did soak up the pressure and then sort of got on with their own game again. But it was a very good game of footy and a pressure game of footy. So you can only be happy when you win it.
And credit to your defence, a feature their magnificent tackling.
Oh, excuse me. Well, I thought we tackled well all over it, but our defence was, as a unit, was very, very strong. And John Seabone particularly played a very good game on Jim Michaelani, and Chris Toothey did a very good job at fullback, as did Ross Gibbs and Wayne Stringer. So, yeah, the defence played well, obviously.
So many options up forward, but Adam Garton, a revelation.
Well, he's been very unlucky. He's still a young, talented player. He's been around the club for a while, and he's just been waiting for his opportunities. And he never did anything wrong when he was at League Company. He played about, I guess, about 9 or 10 games, and 7 of those were on the bench. So he had to go back to the reserves for a couple of runs. And then with Steve Thompson coming up and playing reasonably well, it made it difficult for Adam to get back into the side, so he really just was itching for his opportunity.
They're a very persistent side, Norwood, aren't they? They force that total concentration.
Well, they do. You look around and there's players running loose, and they use the ball so well, and they seem to find spaces so well, and I was always concerned that they could get back into the game, and they had their opportunities to do it, but I just thought our run today was very good, and our commitment, you know, I know it's an overused word, but I can't think of any other real way to describe it, because that's exactly what they did. They committed themselves very well.
I think there's a feeling around town that this could be the year for the Tigers. Last premiership in 1973. You must be quietly confident.
Well, you've got to be realistic, and I think as soon as you start saying you're confident, you set yourself up there for people to sort of knock you down. But there's still 4 sides left in it, and each one of those 4 sides is a good enough side to beat any of the others on their day. And I obviously am confident we've got a very good side, but you can only prepare yourself for the next game coming up. And we've got, next week we play North Adelaide, who, despite what people say, are a very, very good side and are still playing, and are playing again good football. So really, you can set the grand final, and winning a grand final is a goal, but I think to dwell on it, you sort of lose a little bit of desperation in your build-up. Plus I don't want to be in the situation that we've been in so many times before, where everyone said, yeah, this is the year you're going to win it, this is the year, and you just take it for granted without really putting the hard work in.
Glenelg coach Graham Cornes. Well, Darryl, as was spoken about then, so often Glenelg have fallen away just before or during the finals, but gee, they must be a big chance this year.
Yes, I think they're more physical. Players like Maynard playing on the ball give them that bit of strength, and Kernahan's a superstar. I thought that Warhurst had his measure in the first half, and yet he took superb marks after half-time. Copping, though, it must be a question mark asked by the Norwood coaches tonight why he didn't move Rowan Hellier. If it had been an elimination final, I feel sure he must have. Norwood couldn't control Copping.
He really was in superb form. It wasn't just on the forward line today, though, was he? He was picking up kicks everywhere.
Yes, in fact, I thought Glenelg played more like Norwood do in the forward line. Norwood with Roberts used space, maintained possession, and today it was Glenelg that played that game.
As far as the Tigers were concerned, it really was hard to find a weakness, wasn't it? They had a couple of players down on form, perhaps, but, very strong side overall.
Well, they were able to interchange Michael Murphy, who's been amongst their best during the year, and Cornes, the coach, had all of the cards in his pack today, and he interchanged players, he saved them, he had Motlop to come on and run, and well coached and well played.
A good sign, I guess, was the way they responded in the second quarter. They did seem to be in trouble in the first half of the second quarter, but they showed a lot of character.
Well, 12 minutes into the second quarter, Norwood were back in the game, and then I mentioned on commentary that Glenelg went much closer and more defensive and just slowed the game down a little bit. Carey had a big influence at that stage, and then it was goal for goal until half-time. Glenelg 4 points up at the break.
Well, so much for Glenelg. Let's now hear from beaten coach Neil Balme.
Neil, a disappointing result for you, particularly you got yourself back into the game at half-time.
Yeah, very disappointing. You reckon our blokes had never played finals before. I think they just kidded themselves a bit.
And at three-quarter time, they'd had 26 shots to your 25, yet they led by 25 points. So the bad kicking didn't give you that chance.
Well, yeah, I guess not. One of our strengths is kicking for goal usually, and it was pretty disappointing today. I don't know how that happened, but I think they had control of the game just the same, even though we did kick poorly.
You mentioned that finals experience. It was strange to see Norwood seem to start so nervously.
Well, it was probably one of the worst starts we've had for a long time to any kind of game, and I'm blowed if I know how that happened. I'm disappointed with it, but our second half was probably worse than our start anyway, so we've got a lot of thinking to do.
What sort of things you'll be concentrating on in the next week?
Well, probably kicking into one of our blokes rather than one of theirs, or handballing one of our blokes rather than one of theirs. There's very, very basic errors in our disposal today. We probably, at times maybe we tried a bit much, but I think they've got to take the risks and try things, but it was just very poor.
What about the Glenelg performance? They seemed to be very direct when they went forward.
Yeah, I must admit I didn't take that much notice of their game overall for obvious reasons, but I suppose they've got to win a final eventually, and they did pretty well today. They were very strong, they were at the ball, they were a bit tougher than us around the ball, which they deserve credit for, and they played very well.
What about your injured players like Roberts? Chance to come back in the next few weeks?
I don't know, I'm not too sure about that. He's certainly improved a hell of a lot though.
Okay, Neil, all the best for next week.
Neil Balme still smiling and playing it straight down the middle, as he always does. They're all taking nothing away from Glenelg. How much do you think Norwood missed Rocky Roberts?
Well, as I said previously, their forward line didn't function as the unit that they normally do. They had the same number of scoring shots. David Payne, I think, kicked 5 points. ran at the right-hand point post instead of centering the ball. And I think they lack that little bit of confidence that they get from setting it up, having a set shot, and Roberts kicking 5 or 6 in finals.
What about the ruck situation? It was evident that a lot of their running players, who often do get into the game, didn't get into the game today. Do you think perhaps they were failing in the ruck to win the ball to those players?
Well, I think Hind got Norwood back into the game in the second quarter. I was disappointed with Button's game. He was very physical, but doesn't seem to have the leap. And he's a little bit unsafe with his ball handling now, so they might have to consider John Hall if he can come up, Duncan Fosdyke and Rocky Roberts. Norwood will consider making changes for next week, and they'll concentrate on Payne's accuracy and tightening up Rowan Hellier in defence.
Speaking about the run and maybe also the enthusiasm, do you think that maybe, like Carlton, Norwood's getting that little bit old? They've got about half a dozen players round about the 30-year age mark.
You must be new to South Australia. Never underestimate
I'm not
the
doing
Redlegs. And when their tail's down, they're under pressure, they're at their best. And they'll go away now and regroup. See, Gallagher was supposed to be injured, and I thought he was superb and ran all day. A top game from Philip Gallagher. It was just accuracy and the little thing, they weren't quite at their best, but Norwood will be nasty next week against West.
Weekend 1 of finals been and gone. Another great weekend coming up next week. A couple of top matches, Norwood West and then North Glenelg.
Well, I think, can I make a tip at this stage?
Well, yes, you're welcome to.
A draw in the first one on Saturday. And they're two superb games. I'd like to wait until I see those teams next week before we pick, because that's how close I think it will be.
Thanks very much, Darryl, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Fine.
OK, well, that's our program for tonight. Repeating, Glenelg, the winner here in South Australia, Footscray, the winner in Victoria, and there'll be all the VFL highlights of yesterday's and today's match on the winners tonight at 5 to 11. Well done, Tigers. See you next week.
Almost up towards centre wing. One hand to Kernahan.
Whoever gets on top could determine the game.
To half forward, Copping. Not quite. The follow-up. Out wide to Simons. From 35 metres. Looks good. Hall. This is Maynard. Now Alan Stringer. Back to Hall. Through centre. Short. Too short there for Kernahan. To Simons. Now McGuinness. Good build-up for the Tigers from 35 metres. Deserved better. High ball from Jarvis. On top mark and defence for Glenelg. Just decided to put it to the outer side to Jenkins, but puts it up towards the timber there. Kernahan. It's Hall to kick the ball back into play for Glenelg. The 16.5-minute mark with the Tigers leading by 19. Desperation football out there. Now they break clear through Maynard. Running through centre. Out wide for Copping. Allowed far too much meterage by Hellier. In short, towards the lead of Garton. Garton really has filled in well. He's lining up for his fifth.